from the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are the hosts of Balloon Fiesta Live, Glen Moyer and Lloyd Jr.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to day 2 of the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta here on the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Live. I'm Glen Moyer, and to my right, as always, my cohort, Lloyd Jr. Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Glenn. We are in for a fabulous day again, a very busy morning as well. We're taking a quick look here at Pilot's briefing.
Yeah.
We're going to join their audio briefly here in just a moment. But we also have the Dawn Patrol show this morning.
That's true.
So we want to get them started. So Dawn Patrol team, fans on, please. Dawn Patrol team, fans on. And let's go to pilot briefing.
It really brought chills to everybody. So for all those that participated and made that possible, thank you. Give yourself a round of applause. Sort of ended that national anthem tribute there with that heart, with the Chile flight again, just to show our love to all the folks that are out there. Again, another way.
Globito fixed?
It's on him.
That's on him. Is it fixed?
It's still the chatter, but
a lot of great landings to the south here, and it just was so spectacular. As we were working off the south tower there, we were telling the launch directors there just how smooth and everything went. So let's give those launch directors a huge hand. A little bit of update on America's Challenge. If you were here last night and able to see that, what a beautiful sight. You see the 4 gas balloons take off of them, all of the hot air balloons that were in
they're almost out of sight.
that turns into a glow, but they are all still in the air. If you go to the Fiesta website, Albuquerque Fiesta website, under ballooning, and there's a gas page, you can get to the that will allow you to see their tracking and their spots. But right now, still in the air. They're not moving very fast. They're about 15,000 feet, and they're very. The furthest team is about 90-some miles east. They're doing well, and they're expected to.
So they're going through some announcements out there, kind of briefing all the pilots on exactly what has been happening. They brought up the idea of America's Challenge. We've got 4 gas balloons in the air that have took off from here last night. And as we saw last night, strategies taking place.
Are we still 2 by 2?
We are. We are 2 by 2. Bert Padelt, who you may remember went off a little flaccid in the balloon. He didn't pack the balloon. He didn't take as much. No,
as the others did.
The idea behind that, as I talked to some more folks, is that he didn't have to expend as much ballast to get the higher altitude.
Well, he certainly expended a lot to get launched last night.
He did. He got a lot of that. But he did get up high, and he is, I didn't check the location, but he's like 140 miles away from this morning. The rest of them are within 30 to 40 miles. 2 of them went around the north side of the mountains here. Mark and Sherry are following him along the back.
Okay. And
so now we're hearing Henry.
Pilot briefing, yeah. So we're going back to pilot briefing?
That be patient and adapt, and thank you all for working through that. And I realize some people didn't get out of here till close to 11 o'clock.
Go ahead and go fans, please.
Hey, I understand we have a great spot to land now down at the Fiesta del Norte Park down there. How many pilots landed down there? Quite a number. So thank you to the city for making that possible, putting out that grass, and just really being welcoming to us as balloonists to land there. And speaking of our landing areas and our launch areas, this field has really been it's in a unique condition with the wet
the wetness of it and the trucks that have been, vehicles that have been stuck, we know that we're still working on those conditions today. There are some areas that if you are working your way to your spot this morning that have been flagged off because they're just too wet. We don't want anybody else to go through that. If you're supposed to be in that location, just please relocate, find a spot that's open, talk with the balloonist in that area, and let's try to make it work. The launch directors know that you may be relocated. That's the first time they may hear about it is when they introduce themselves. Just tell them what the situation is, and we're going to work with you, and we'll continue to work through that process today and make those sites, get them back into operation for later on. So what I didn't realize is that in order to be a member of the Quad A is that you had to have your AAA membership first. So if you haven't updated your AAA membership, right, and then AA before that, so. Yes. Yeah, okay, let's see. All right, just a couple general items. The scanning process. One, give yourself a round of applause. We get a report. We had over 600 people scan in. In the first printout, there were 27 people that did not scan in. So then, hold off, it's coming. After the 27 people, when getting back with Jennifer and marking off the folks that just hadn't been here, hadn't registered yet, making some phone calls to people that said I didn't fly. That list is down to 2 that we have not spoken with, but I can tell you those 2 people did not get propane. So I'm here to tell you 100% of the people that flew yesterday scanned in. Thank you very much. It truly worked. Thank you. The tablets. Some questions about the tablets, and it does not have cellular service. You do not need the cellular service for the moving map to work. You will need to be hooked up to a Wi-Fi system in order to set the program up and get it logged into your account. But once you get it logged in, download whatever app you're going to use and take it away from that Wi-Fi system, the moving map will work. So please try that if you haven't. Monitoring the Albuquerque ATC. We talked about it yesterday when you need to talk to them and not talk to them, but I really didn't mention it, but I do need to emphasize, if you are heading down that way south, you do need to monitor that channel. Even if you intend not to speak with them, you at least need to monitor that channel. The Balloon Meister frequency. We keep talking about the Balloon Meister frequency, but we really didn't tell you what channel it is on the Boafang radios. It's the AIBF1 channel. So if you've got those radios, AIBF1 is the proper channel for the Balloon Meister frequency. The U.S. detection system that's up on the hill working with the FBI and the local police department and stuff is working fantastic. Yesterday during our flight window and within our TFR, the 4 miles from this field here, they were able to, they detected 10 UASs in the area. They sent their, how would you say that? Their customer services representatives. They sent them out to those locations, and they were able to make contact with 4 of those operators that were still present or still performing the operation. Trust me, we will not see those 4 people doing any more drone operation within this TFR. They got the message. So, again, that's everybody working together to make sure that we are safe, especially in this 4-mile radius under our TFR, and we don't have any surprises. And it was interesting to note that of 2 of those folks that they spoke with, they were operating at 1,100 and 800 feet. So they truly were well out of their normal operating flight altitude. But anyway, they've taken care of that, and that's an operation that takes place every morning. So it's sort of the behind-the-scene work that's going on that's really helping to make it safe for us. I really hate to report on this, but if you look at that photo up on the top right there, we all know that when we lay out, we've got several balloons that are touching and so forth, and you can't really see from your basket to the all around your balloon and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we had at least 2 balloons that we're aware of that were maliciously damaged during the cold inflation. And I think you know what could have happened. Both of those really didn't realize it had happened until they stood the balloon up and in preparation for a flight discovered that they had a situation at the top of their balloon that did not.
So just a portion of pilot's briefing that is going on out there.
A lot of housekeeping type of things.
A lot of housekeeping things there. We like to try and catch it and get some of the weather information here. But just for a point of information, the UAS that they were talking about are the drone pilots.
Drones, right. People who are operating drones within a restricted flight area that we have around Balloon Fiesta Park that are not supposed to be here.
And that's the TFR that he talked about, yes.
Temporary
the flight restriction. Right.
Yes.
And it's a 4-mile area, 4-mile radius around from the center of the park here that no aircraft can be in without the express permission of Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah,
so even Fast Track's plane, the news helicopters are all given permission through Fiesta officials to be in the airspace. No one else can be in that airspace.
Right.
They can go over it at, I think it's 8,500 feet, but we have this cylinder here that is our area that we control during the hours of Balloon Fiesta.
Right. And what happens is drone enthusiasts, of course, want to get their drones in the air, get some amazing photographs, and that's fine. But the problem is the pilots can't always see the drones. They don't know they're there. And we've had occasion over the last few years where drones have impacted balloons, and they can damage and create an in-flight situation for the balloonist. So that's why our flight area is restricted, so that we know exactly who is operating in our flight restriction zone.
All right, I'm hearing a lot of cold packed and ready on the part of the Dawn Patrol pilots here. So I don't know that they're all ready yet, but let's check in with Dawn Patrol and see if they're ready to get going.
Well, let's go ahead and begin this morning with the 25th edition of our Dawn Patrol show. It's brought to you by Route 66 Casino Hotel and RV Park. The Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, of course, is by far the most highly recognized ballooning event in the world, beginning 49 years ago. And to celebrate the 50th anniversary of radio station 770 KOB, now known, of course, as KKOB. That little gathering that we know was only 13 balloons has now blossomed into what you'll be enjoying here today. So soon we'll be listening, and we have heard already some of the pilots reporting in that they are cold packed and ready. Now, that means that each aircraft is full of cold air that's been forced into the balloon with their gasoline-powered inflator fans, and that the pilot is at his or her burner and ready to turn on the fire and hot inflate the balloon. Now, once they're upright, the balloons will perform something of a mini glow for you, lighting up their burners and giving you a great photo op this morning before they rise into the pre-dawn skies to show us the way and what direction the winds will take all of our balloons today. So stand by for the stand-up and the launch of this morning's Route 66 Casino Hotel and RV Park Dawn Patrol show. And the good news is I think this morning we have most of the Dawn Patrol team in their usual launch sites along row M in the center of the field.
There are going to be a few of them spread out. As you heard our balloonmeister Henry Rosenbaum talk about,
right.
There are still some issues
still some
on the
wet
field.
spots out
we
there.
got a lot of rain on Thursday and Friday, and of course we had been watering the park anyway, I think.
Well, that's why we keep that grass so
nice
green
and green.
luscious.
Yeah.
There you can see on the feed already some of the balloons inflating, and you can hear on the radio perhaps some of the pilots reporting in, cold packed and ready.
Good morning, Boca, Iowa.
God, I think there's other people watching the channel.
Well, we're starting to see on with our cameras and the great technology that we have in the cameras that they are looking cold packed and ready from our angle.
And that is a shot actually from the north end of the field, looking back toward, because you can see the museum in the background there, that big orb of light in front of all the balloons. So that's the opposite side of the balloons that we're seeing. You're looking at the
Dawn Patrol team, light them up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the pilots are cold packed and ready, so it's now time to begin some flicker burns to add heat to the aircraft. Now, these little short bursts of propane-fueled flames are illuminating our Dawn Patrol balloons, spread out generally across row M and other parts of Balloon Fiesta Park, given the dampness. With more heat, the balloons will rise together, so let's get them up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Route 66 Casino Hotel and RV Park Dawn Patrol all on hot inflation. Pilots, light them up and get them up.
All right, looking good.
Yeah. And they are all generally gathered together this morning. That's good. There's the first cheer from the crowd. We can hear all the way up here this morning. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you as our Dawn Patrol fans to join in our show today. So we'd like for you to lend us your vocal cards and all of your good karma and help count down the Dawn Patrol show for our very first all burn of the morning. Let's go at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn, Dawn Patrol. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce you to the team members, beginning with Dawn 2, our Dawn Patrol show producer, Scott Vesley from Frisco, Texas, flying Lighthouse Business Information Solutions. Dawn 3 is Rick Jones from Concord, New Hampshire, flying Polar Dawn. Dawn 4 is Andy Wayner from El Paso, Texas, flying Hubba Bubba. Dawn 5 is Greg Lindsay from Stafford, Arizona, flying Floating Oasis. Dawn 6 is Tim Taylor from Holiday, Utah in D3. Dawn 7 is Michael Scott out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma in Spirits Rainbow. Dawn 8 is Brian Carlson from Topeka, Kansas in Dreams Fulfilled. Dawn 9 is Matt Grote from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, flying Jester Unwinds. Dawn 10, Dale Ruth from Albuquerque, flying Dawn's Delight. Dawn 11 is Chuck Schick from Bosque Farms, flying Brilliant Shadow. And rounding out the team, Dawn 12, Ron Thornton from Littleton, Massachusetts in Peanuts Forever. And now, pilots, let's do a flicker burn this time. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in the countdown. A flicker burn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flicker burn, Dawn Patrol.
Nice job.
Looking good, looking good. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the passengers have should have loaded into the baskets, those that are flying this morning. The pilots and crew have readied their aircraft. We're just about ready for flight. So it's almost time to send them off. But as we go, we do need your help. The balloon crews will need to pack things up, of course, and get out of the field to give chase to their teams, to their balloon, that is. And so we would ask that you please give them room to move the vehicles, be aware of vehicles moving about you, and if you're asked, please clear a path so they can get out and chase the balloons quickly and efficiently. One more time, though, for an all burn and the start of our Dawn Patrol show launch. So once again, we go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn. And with that, now we'll begin the launch of the Dawn Patrol team. So sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch the balloons take to the pre-dawn skies. Excuse me. I forgot my cough button.
So I did hear the launch directors were going to launch Dawn Patrol from the outside, work their way in. So just making a final, make sure everybody's ready to go and there's a clear space to take off from.
So Brock Bame is telling us on Facebook that Chuck Schick sold Brilliant Shadow to a friend of his, and his new balloon looks exactly like that one, but it's named Too Good Looking. Well, thanks, Brock. That's not in the notes that we had from our Dawn Patrol producer. So we'll check on that.
I told you yesterday that things were changing with pilots and balloons and all that.
Yeah.
Last night, I got the note to add 4 more additional pilots to our database.
Oh, yeah?
So things are, I told you daily, yes, we're still adding things, adding folks in.
Well, we've been commenting about some of the travel issues, and I know I've seen on Facebook several
And there
pilots,
we go. There's our first one off.
Yeah, several pilots commenting that sometimes their friends, some of their crew, and even some pilots would get partway to Albuquerque from wherever they were coming, and then their flights would be delayed or canceled, and they were having travel issues. So I'm not surprised that we still have some people who are just now arriving. Good morning, Kim. Kim Vesley has joined us, who did such a marvelous job last night anchoring our coverage of the America's Challenge gas balloon race. So she'll be giving us an update on the balloon teams here shortly this morning. Just looking at some of the people checking in. Kelly Helm from, where's Kelly from? Bradenton, Florida is watching. Saw someone checking in from the Texas Hill Country earlier this morning. Indianola, Iowa, home of the Balloon Federation of America. Oh, saying it used to be held in Indianola, Iowa. I'm not sure what he's talking about. The Nationals, U.S. Nationals have been held there before. Larry Brown sending good wishes to our Dawn Patrol producer, Scott Vesley, says, go Scott Vesley. Well, he's going.
He is now airborne.
Yeah,
there he is in the
airborne
Lighthouse Business Systems.
And going.
I understand might be something exciting happening in that balloon today. I can't release that information yet.
We'll have an update maybe later. I like Christine Casillas.
With that cheer, I almost wonder if it just happened.
If it happened, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Christine Casillas commenting on our Facebook feed saying, I still get all giggly like a little kid each time I see these. A lot of us do, Christine. A lot of us do. Eric Gordon, good morning. I'm glad you guys are back. We're glad to be back too, Eric. We really are.
And hey, if you tried to tune in yesterday morning on the internet and experienced some of the issues in trying to watch the show, we apologize for that. It was not here. It was an internet outage elsewhere in town on our way out.
Right.
And which disrupted a whole lot of internet activities around the city, and especially coming out of the park here. We did post a recording of yesterday morning's show on our Facebook page and on YouTube. It's kind of tough to find on our Balloon Fiesta Live page at the moment, but it'll be there by tomorrow as well. But you can certainly find it on our Facebook and YouTube page and check out all the action from yesterday morning.
Some of our international visitors checking in. Some folks here from Belgium, Indiana, Arkansas, Waxahachie, Texas. Susan Thompson checking in there. Dallas, Texas, good morning. And let's see.
Dawn 2 to Dawn announced. If you have news, we'll be anxious to hear
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Fort Worth, Texas. Good morning, Travis. Frisco, Texas, checking in. Lubbock, Texas. A lot of Texas folks watching this morning. That's good. New Orleans, or as they say down there, New Orleans. Louisiana, St. Louis, another Fort Worth,
Dawn Patrol
Houston.
Team, give me an Auburn. In 3, 2, 1, Auburn.
Maine, so probably some of Ruth's friends from Maine. Las Vegas, or as many of us call it, Lost Wages.
So the Dawn Patrol is splitting, going right around on one side of us and the others on the other side.
Kind of like the gas balloons did. They're kind of, as opposed to going around the Sandias, they're splitting around the rooftop studio. Brighton, Colorado. Lots of folks checking in this morning. Glad the feed's working. Northwest Ohio. Ireland. Oh, hi, Malcolm. Malcolm and Pauline are watching from Ireland. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Derek Jones is checked in.
Here comes Michael Scott right overhead. He managed to find the rooftop studio.
Good morning, Derek.
Give me an Auburn. 3, 2, 1, Auburn.
Yeah, and a little while ago, I was supposed to have said that with the launch of our final balloon. Have we launched them all off? Well, I see D is still.
Yeah, we still got.
Okay, so I'm not behind on the script.
You're not behind on the script. Good morning, Michael.
And saying hi to all these folks. Orlando, Denison, Texas. Let's see, who else is saying hello? North Carolina. Another person from Maine.
Flicker. 3, 2,
South Korea.
1, flicker.
Des Moines, Iowa. Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And we're all in the air now.
Okay, so now I'm supposed to say that with the launch of our final balloon, our sponsor, the Route 66 Casino, Hotel, and RV Park, is proud to present, ladies and gentlemen, the Dawn Patrol Show.
Yay!
Yay! Woo!
We're just moving right out today.
Yeah, it's amazing. So as I'm just checking where all these people are checking in from. It's great to see people all over the country. Savannah, Missouri, Charlotte, North Carolina, Cannon City, Colorado, Virginia, another South Korea, Jackson, Michigan.
Give me an Auburn. In 3,
Bismarck,
2,
North Dakota,
1,
Lakeville,
Auburn.
Minnesota, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Good morning, Keith Berry. Oh, hi, Keith. Wish you were here, guy. Keith's a longtime ballooning friend, originally out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Buffalo, New York.
Checked in on our show last night, too.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah. McKinney, Texas.
Saw his comments after the fact when I got home and was checking things. Hi,
Louisville,
Keith.
Kentucky,
Patrol Team,
Indiana.
give me an Auburn. In 3, 2, 1, Auburn.
Boy, here's a place I've never heard of before, and pardon me, Tammy, if I say it wrong. Tonganoxie, Kansas? Who's here from Tonganoxie?
Hey,
You know?
Dawn's 2 to Dawn and out.
Go ahead, too. We got you.
Like her to say it. Hang on, please. We had a special time in the basket this morning, and what did she say?
Yes.
So if you didn't catch that,
I guess that confirms it.
that confirms it. We just had an engagement in Dawn Patrol, in Dawn Patrol 2 this
A
morning.
proposal, it sounds like, actually.
Yep.
if she
And so
said
now
yes.
there's an engaged. She said yes.
Dawn Patrol Team, give me an Auburn. In 3, 2, 1, Auburn.
Well, congratulations up there in Dawn Patrol 2.
Absolutely. Congratulations on your engagement, and I hope he didn't drop the ring.
Yeah.
That has happened. Trust me, that has happened. In fact, I know people who do, balloonists who do flights like that, often
Give me a flicker. In 3, 2, 1, flicker.
often tell the party with the ring, you might want to tie a string around it and,
Yeah.
just so it doesn't, in the excitement, get juggled around and go, oops, over the side. I lost
And
it.
in most cases, the answer usually is yes. But
Yes.
there are stories about the rest of the flight when she
Says no. Yeah.
That makes for a very
Talk
interesting
about
flight.
awkward silence.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a good thing. So you want to kind of know, it's that old thing about you never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
That's it. Exactly right. That is exactly right.
Tampa Bay, Florida. Go Bucks. Let's see.
So our Dawn Patrol show has a little bit of direction, a little bit of speed. They have kind of moved out of here fairly quickly this morning. Don't seem to be hanging around anywhere.
No, and with that, it's time to say that as the Dawn Patrol team drifts away and enjoys their morning, we'd like to once again give a special thanks to the sponsor of our show, the Route 66 Casino, Hotel, and RV Park. And we also want to thank you for being here, especially early in the morning.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry, you were pointing at things.
I'm stage managing here, sorry.
Stage managing. And so anyway, we would like to thank all of you for being here early this morning and being a part of our Picture Perfect show. So once again, thanks to the Route 66 Casino, Hotel, and RV Park, and to all the pilots and crew for this morning's Dawn Patrol show.
What a great one it was.
And there's an Auburn. Look at if you're watching the feed, look at that up in the sky. That's really exciting.
And they don't appear to be moving fast up there, but so right
no,
here
but
at the
it
ground.
didn't take them right here on the ground. It didn't take them long to
yep.
move away. Sometimes they just hang around right overhead of us for quite some time, but this morning it was zoom the way they went.
So the balloons that are inflating on the field now would be the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, the Krispy Kreme balloon glow, and led, of course, by the Krispy Kreme balloon that you see. There's a good shot of it, that orange, two-tone orange with the yellow bands in the center. If you're looking closely, you can see the Krispy Kreme banner on the side of the balloon, and we enjoyed a Krispy Kreme donut with some hot chocolate here on the rooftop studio this morning.
We did. Lots and lots of donuts come out to the field and are consumed with those thousands and hundreds of tens of thousands of cups of coffee. I should remember those statistics. We always put them together, and we actually do a presentation like the month afterwards to the local balloon club and talk about how many cups of coffee and how many donuts and things like that.
Yeah.
But Krispy Kreme out here, and of course our Krispy Kreme Glow featuring 13 balloons because it's a baker's dozen. It also happens to be the number of balloons that were at the very first balloon fiesta back in 1972.
Now, see, someone's being clever, more clever than I would be at this hour of the day.
Yeah, well.
Of course, that's all pre-planned, I suppose.
Yeah, we've kind of thought through that as well. So if you were with us last night, and if you weren't, you can go back and watch it online. But the idea is we started America's Challenge gas balloon launch last night. And so we got those gas guys out of here, guys and gals, and they are flying their distance race. And I didn't even tell the truck yet. We're going to go to Kim on the headset mic here in just a second. So
go to our guest interview site that we have this year set. Yes.
Yeah. So Kim Vesley is here. She's the media liaison for America's Challenge, also part of our Balloon Fiesta Live team.
Easy for you to say.
I know. Yeah, my glasses are falling over my nose, and all kinds of stuff are happening.
It's early.
It is. So good morning, Kim. Okay, we haven't heard you yet there.
Yeah, we need to bring the guest mic up in the truck.
Okay, we hear you now. There you go.
Okay, I don't hear me, but that's okay.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, now we hear you.
All right.
You're good.
Okay.
Turn it up. There we go.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So, where is all the gas, folks? We talked about different strategies. Give us the update.
They haven't gone very far at all because, as forecast, the winds over New Mexico are very light, and so they have been creeping along at blistering speeds like 4.5 miles an hour.
Oh, my goodness.
Bert was up to 10 miles an hour when I left the command center. That was
wow.
pretty good. And right now, the lead, such as it is, and that's a relative term when it's this early in the race and everybody is this close together.
Sure.
He was about at Santa Rosa. There are two distinct strategies unfolding in this race right now. Bert and Noah, Team 4, and Team 2, which is Mark Sullivan and Sherry White, stayed south and kind of went sort of through Tijeras Canyon, and they've been going down I-40. The other two teams, which is Team 1, which is Barbara Fricke and Peter Cuneo, and Team 3, which is Brenda Cowlishaw and Brian Duncan, are actually very, very close together. They've been trading positions in the race, in fact, over the last few minutes. And they're up by Santa Fe. And it has been, I suspect, a pretty brutal night for those folks. They have been, especially the two that went south, have been at pretty high altitudes, 16, 17,000 feet. And one of the calls to the command center indicated from one of the balloons that it was about 21 degrees, and that was several hours ago.
Yeah.
And it's dark, and it's cold, and it's miserable. And especially when you're not going anywhere.
And at that altitude, they're also on oxygen, I'm sure.
Yeah. Which is also not a very comfortable situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can guarantee you they're sitting there looking at the dawn coming up over, you can see here in Albuquerque, coming up over the mountains. And they are very, very glad to see that for a couple of reasons. For one thing, it's light and warmth and all of the other things they've been craving. But also, as the gas expands in the balloon and heats up, it will give them a free ride to the altitude of their choice. They won't have to expend as much ballast to stay up there. And this is where you'll see the strategies really start to play out. So that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's early in the race, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
We can just see, as you look over toward the Sandias, you could just see the sky beginning to lighten. They obviously get a much earlier view of the coming dawn because of the altitude that they're at. And that warmth certainly must be welcome after a night like you're describing they've had in those little baskets.
Well, the moon is just really, it's not very high in the sky.
No.
Not that there's much of a moon anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talked about being on my gas flight, there was no moon, so it would have been very black, not moving, not being able to see really anything. And as Kim alluded to, being frustrated that you're only moving about 1 or 2 miles an hour. So
in a distance race.
The
idea is you're trying to get
idea is to go somewhere. Yes. And I can attest too, because I know from previous mornings over the many years up here, when you're just sitting and it's cold, and now it's never been 21 degrees here on the rooftop, but we've been around freezing before, maybe a little below, and it's miserable because you can't get up and move. Even for the spectators down on the field, you can walk around and you can seek some warmth out. When you're in a little space that's 4 foot by 4 foot, like the size of that basket, and you just have to sit and bear the cold, it gets miserable.
Right. There's no moving around.
No.
Jump up and down,
you can't
all
exercise,
that kind of stuff.
jump up and
no,
down, do
that
side
doesn't
step.
happen.
Yeah.
No heater. Nothing.
Yeah.
Hand warmers maybe.
Yeah.
But it can be, and it's a very small space, and as Art mentioned, you can't really go anywhere because there's nowhere to go. It's like a 4 by 5 foot space.
Yeah.
Maybe some baskets are smaller than that.
Yeah.
So I'm checking the tracker here, and Bert and Noah are now doing 6.3 miles per hour. And Sherry and Mark are doing 3.3. Brian and Brenda are doing 6.3 miles per hour.
Ooh.
And Barbara and Peter are at 5.6.
Yeah.
So, everybody moving it under 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, pedal to the metal up there.
You do that in the gas balloon out here on the west, or in the hot air balloon out here on the West Mesa.
Yeah. We've had hot air balloon flights much faster than that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, listen, Kim, thank you for coming up with the update. I'm sure you'll keep us informed throughout the morning as we're watching the progress,
and of course,
slow as it may be.
You can watch the tracking. You can watch the same maps that we're watching by going onto the Balloon Fiesta website, the America's Challenge page, which has a lot of different functionality that you'll see develop more as they get a little further down range and the race develops. You'll be able to see differences in altitude and their tracks over time, all that sort of thing. You can also go onto the YB tracking app, which you can download on your favorite mobile device. And if you're on the go, you can keep track of the race that way.
Outstanding.
Right. Thanks,
Thank you, Kim. Hey, down on the field as we're enjoying the Krispy Kreme glow and getting prepared for this morning's mass ascension, our intrepid reporter Ruth Lind is doing double duty. She's, of course, running the communications center for the gas balloon flight, but this morning she's back with us, and she has found one of our longtime vendors, and I am personally vested in these folks because I have some of their product on my walls at home. She's down with, and I forget the full name of the vendor, but I know it has to do with Alpaca. Ruth, take it away.
Yes, I am down here at the Alpaca Connection and Cotton Salsa. I can tell you what, I have spent so many hundreds of dollars here over the years, and I love it, and I can't keep my fingers out of these guys. I'm here with Leslie. She's originally from Peru. How many years have you worked here at Fiesta?
Also, actually, this company is working for 40 years, and we also, everything is made from Peru. We have alpaca jar, alpaca fart. People, I'm so impressed with these big balloons, and people, they love alpaca, right? We have also sweater, blankets, ponchos, accessories for alpaca. Also, we use baby alpaca too. That is one of the most expensive fiber here. And also, it was my first day, the first day of on the fair, and I'm so incredible and amazing day yesterday, and I really love it. And enjoy your all the tourists that came here. You don't need to lose to visit this store that is very, very gorgeous store. You can find everything from Peru here.
Well, this is absolutely wonderful. All of the different products, I'm sure Tom will show us all around this booth. There are warm blankets and warm everything, and you just want to put your hands in this stuff. Glen, Art, what do you guys think?
Well, I've got a couple of wall hangings at home that are alpaca that were back when I had my two balloons, Coyote Moon and Coyote Rising. Every year I would come to Fiesta, and one of the first places I would head to were their booths and look to see what they had with the coyote images and themes with them. And so, yeah, I've spent a few dollars with those fine folks as well. And alpaca it's so soft and luxurious that, like you say, Ruth, you just can't keep your hands off of it.
That's right.
Balloons.
Your Fiesta will be better in your alpaca sweater.
Yes, Jay says our Fiesta will be better in our
your alpaca
sweater.
Very good.
So from alpacas, I think we're going to go find some quilts next, and we'll be back to you in a few.
Okay, well, thank you, Ruth. And
Quilts.
the folks at Alpaca Connection. We have a lot of vendors that have been with us for a number of years, and it's always good to see them returning, just like the balloon pilots that have been here for some time.
Yes. So we are getting closer to our national anthem this morning and our launch of the Balloon of the Day.
Okay. And who will be Balloon of the Day today? He asked.
And I don't have it in my list. But the national anthem should be performed by the United States Air Force Academy.
Okay.
So we have our cameras down on the field, and we're getting hearing all the good noise from down there. It's going to be a little distracting.
Yeah, all
here.
the what we call in the business nat sound.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys, because it's really distracting
when we can't hear anything.
It's great to have it under the video, but it's when we can't hear ourselves talk.
So the other thing
sometimes that's a good thing.
The other thing that we're have in store for today, after we get our mass ascension underway, is remote control balloons.
Yeah, that's the first time that we've kind of added that. Over the years, I've seen a few that have, after the flight, somebody that has an RC balloon.
They've been kind of
take it out and
somebody has one.
Yeah.
And then somebody else might have one.
Right.
So it's been pretty rare.
Yes.
So in the last year or so, I think a lot of COVID projects have become I'm going to make my own remote control balloon. And so pilots have learned to sew or have worked with people and have built their own remote control balloons. So we might call these miniature balloons, but miniature is only relative. These things are still 20 to 30 feet tall, but they're not big enough to carry any people or anything like that.
The baskets are not much larger than our iPads.
Yeah, maybe 12 to 18 inches square. But they have little propane tanks in them, and they have little propane burners, and they have a remote control, similar like you might have on a remote control plane or a car.
Right.
And it fires the burner off, and the same principle was with our real balloons. The air heats up, the balloon stands up, it goes up. We just keep them on a tether. And so we're going to have a display of remote control balloons this morning.
Well, not long ago, in fact, in the next issue of Ballooning Journal, we're going to have an article up in Colorado. They had the very first sanctioned RC balloon event.
Yes, those are the same people that are here.
Yeah,
It's a whole bunch of New Mexico pilots that went up to Colorado Springs because I was up there for it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was up there for it. But you know what? The sky got light. Look what's up above us and out to the north of us. Balloons. Our Dawn Patrol show has come back over us. So there is a box this morning here in Albuquerque.
All right.
Yeah. So that quick layer out of here that I was afraid we weren't going to see those guys again, well, it was just low. And all of our Dawn Patrol show balloons are coming back over. Some are already over the north end. In fact, that looks like Tim Taylor in D3 is already coming back south again. He's already boxed over and is making that first pass back. So, boy, that's going to be a really great show then today.
Yeah, it really will be. But I'm excited to see the RC balloons. You know, a few years ago we did an article in the magazine. RC ballooning in Europe is quite big, and they actually have an event that you could not in terms of numbers, but in terms of the scope and the theme of the event that is very similar to Albuquerque, but it's just for RC balloons over in Europe. It's a big thing over there. And in the UK, I know they'll get into one of those large airship hangars that are over there and do some RC ballooning. So it's a little funny that it's been so long in catching on here in the United States, but it's good to see that it is beginning to come on and hopefully expand.
So I think we were looking at about 30 RC balloons. I don't know how many for sure we'll have out there, but it's a great opportunity because you could get out there. 35, 53, 35.
35. Okay. we're getting hand signals from the officials tower. That's what we're how we communicate with all this technology.
Yeah.
And we're doing semaphore with hands.
Hand for.
But it works. Whatever works.
Yes, it does. So it's 35 of them. They'll be setting up. Once our ride balloons get up, when they're on about row P out there, once we get the ride balloons off, which go off right after the balloon of the day, then the remote control balloon guys will move in and take those spots and line up along row P, and they'll be inflating and on tether instant among the rest of our mass Ascension. So you'll really get to see the difference in size.
Somebody, I don't remember if it was Karen Wells or someone that was involved in that group, posted a photograph I saw on Facebook, or maybe they emailed it to me for the magazine, but they had their little remote control basket, and somebody's little toddler, was sitting in the basket, and the caption of the picture was, "You can't start ballooning too young," But it's an absolutely darling picture with this little kid sitting there in this little, baby-sized basket.
I'm surprised to even fit, because most of those baskets won't hold even the little babies.
No, most of them are pretty small, but this one was pretty cool.
You'd be lucky to get a normal-sized doll in some of those baskets.
Yeah, as long as it's not Chucky.
That said, one of the remote control balloons that I saw out here a month or so ago, when we were doing some practice and test and some promotion things with it, they actually built a ride basket with the partitions and all. So it was actually probably about almost 2 feet long by about a foot wide. Like I said, it had the detail that has gone into that has really
now if we start doing rides in remote controlled in RC balloons, that's a little crazy.
Well, all the little stuffed animals.
There you go. See. Yeah. Hey, we could put Ranger in one. We had that pin design for Ranger last year with him in a balloon, so we need to get him in an RC balloon.
So our Krispy Kreme glow continues. Our Dawn Patrol balloons boxing back over the top, and the balloon you see inflating right in front of us that was on the screen there just a second ago is the Hot Minute balloon, which is Tristan McLean and our ExxonMobil
balloon. ExxonMobil, of course, is new with us. They are on board as sponsor of Balloon Fiesta Live for the first time this year. Now, they are the umbrella, the parent company of our sponsor that we had last year.
And the year before.
XTO, thank you. I was trying
to
remember
we kept saying that we were sponsored by XTO, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil.
And this year, it's not the subsidiary, it is.
We've moved up to the big time. We've got the big games.
Yeah, we've got the top guys.
I tell people, I don't know if it's true or not, that we did such a great job at XTO, who got such a great experience out of it, that the big guys took over the contract.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Well, they're still connected. We still have the connection with the XTO people.
Sure.
Appreciate them working with Exxon, bringing us out. And I hope to see the Exxon people up here to talk to us at some point.
Well, we did see them in the balloon waving to us as they went over the rooftop studio yesterday. At some point, I'm sure they'll come up and join us on our new guest interview set.
There you
go. And with our backdrop with ExxonMobil here. So, good to have them on board and proud to be sponsored by ExxonMobil this year.
Ruth promised us to show us the quilt.
She was going to go get
She has
quilting.
worked her way down there.
And the significance is Ruth herself is quite the quilter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, she has made some absolutely stunningly beautiful quilts. So she's personally invested in this. So, Ruth, show us the quilt.
That's crackling.
Well, I'm here with Kathy from the New Mexico Quilters Association, and they have, let's move apart so that Tom can show us this quilt. This is being raffled this week at Balloon Fiesta. Some lucky person is going to get this amazing quilt. And Kathy, let's talk a little bit about what is going to happen with all of this raffle money.
Well, the New Mexico Quilters Association is very involved in the community. In previous years, we've made almost 750 quilts that have been distributed to different organizations. We're also big on education. So we've worked within the community with kids. We used to have a program with Monsanto High School, and we were teaching the kids how to sew, and the Rotary Club would pick different projects, and we would help support them to make them successful. We have different programs for the guild, so you're always learning different quilting techniques and different ways to expand your repertoire.
That sounds great. You mentioned the Rotary Club. I know what you're talking about. Some of our viewers might not know what you're talking about. I like to say, I have a rotary cutter and I know how to use it. So tell our viewers about rotary cutters and just how dangerous they are.
Okay, yes. When I started quilting, we tore the fabric for strips, and then they had this great invention. It's like a pizza cutter, but it's a very sharp blade. And you're able to cut your fabric using a guide, and it's much faster, more precise, and it's just a streamlined technique for quilting.
Have you tried the titanium blades yet?
Yes, but the first thing I do is run over a pin, so it defeats the purpose.
The first thing I always do is run over my finger, which also defeats the purpose and stains the quilt and all that stuff. There are other quilts in this shop, as well as the raffle quilt. Are they for sale?
Yes, we have a variety of crafts that the group has been working on the past 2 years since we had a little bit of a break. It ranges from microwave bowl covers to lap quilts to wall hangings, and just different fabric accessories like bibs, purses, a whole variety of things.
It's so much fun. I love it when people talk about quilting as fiber art. Is that how you think of your quilting?
It's taken time. I haven't seen a quilt that I haven't found some value in. When it comes to art, a lot of times it's supposed to evoke an emotion, and for me any quilt does, because it's something, when I make a quilt, it's like gifting someone a hug. It provides comfort, warmth. It's also beautiful. So in that respect, why can't it be art?
They're all art, and I like to think of it as love in every stitch. And the warmth of our hearts is going out to the people who are enjoying our quilts.
That's very true. I personally don't sell my quilts, but I make things to sell for us to make money here. I try to tell people they can't afford me, because if they consider the cost of the fabrics, the expertise that takes time to learn in order to be very successful, and the hours. The raffle quilt was over 900 hours with 38 different people working on it.
That's just wonderful. Glen, Art, I really hope people will come down here and see these works of art, wrap themselves up in the love of a quilter. Back up to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth. And I hope you'll be impressed when I tell you that I recently purchased my very first rotary cutter. I've been doing some craft projects with some of my tartan fabric and discovered rotary cutters. So I know of which you were speaking, and hopefully that is impressive. I didn't just use pinking shears or scissors. I had my very own rotary cutter. And yes, they are very sharp. And
have you rolled over your finger yet?
I've rolled over my finger. Yes, I have, and it does defeat the purpose. So, yeah. The artwork they do on those quilts, they've done those for years and years. They've been here with us, the New Mexico Quilting Association. And
as long as I can remember, they've been here.
Yeah, me too.
My balloon was actually on the quilt once.
I was about to say, I wasn't going to go there,
ago.
but I've never had, of course, I only flew here for a few years before I started doing this, and while I was doing this, and unfortunately, my balloons, neither one of them ever made it onto, actually I flew 3 balloons out here, and none of them ever made it onto the quilt.
So they do take, they used to, and I'm sure they still do, they would get a release and a picture from a pilot for consideration in using in a future quilt.
Okay.
So there's obviously some connection between a pilot. You'd have to go over and express interest. Not that you didn't.
No, I never did, actually.
And so that's how they at least find out who they can put on the balloon, on the quilt, and move forward with that.
Well, that makes sense, because as we were discussing last night, the new painting, and we'll talk later about things to do outside of Balloon Fiesta. One would be to visit the museum, where the new painting by Jane McLean called Magic is over there, a massive 5-panel painting. And I did chat with her and expressed interest, and in that case, I did get 2 of my balloons into that painting, but it never made it onto one of the quilts. Doesn't mean the quilts aren't absolutely stunning.
They are.
They're beautiful.
I don't know how the quilters actually choose from the stack of applications.
I can't imagine having to make those choices, and I can appreciate the amount of time and work that goes into them. Whatever they raffle, the raffle price is that they, the balloon of the quilt goes for, it can't possibly compensate for the real value of the quilt. So, stop by there and take a look. It's really beautiful.
Real quick, Eric Gordon has posted on here that we mentioned that we had a sponsor last year.
I saw that, and I was going to respond to him.
How did that happen with Balloon Fiesta being postponed? Well, the event was postponed, but Balloon Fiesta Live was not. Yep, we were still on. We were still live. We rolled over that XTO sponsorship from the year before, carried it right through last year. So, we did a live show.
We did not just a live show. We did 9 days,
14
just like Balloon
sessions.
Fiesta. We did our very own full Balloon Fiesta virtual Balloon Fiesta Live last year. And so that's how we had a sponsor last year.
And that's how it all worked.
Absolutely.
And we had a great time doing it.
We did.
That's where you mentioned Ranger.
That's when Ranger became a star. I stayed at home, worked from my office with green screen and Zoom technology, and it was awesome.
And I went down to the studios of Comcast Community Access Channel 27. Brand new remodel job had just taken place. We were the first show in there. Studio 519 is what they call it, and it's the Windfire production guys that are putting this on, doing our production of this. They run that as well. So we continued our relationship and it helped kick off the newly remodeled studio, and still did live shows.
And we had a huge audience last year, and sponsorships are all about what kind of results do you get for the sponsor, and we proved that Balloon Fiesta Live can draw an audience even when there was no Balloon Fiesta. So
250,000 people.
Yeah.
Tuned in to watch Balloon Fiesta live last year. Balloon Fiesta Siesta last year is what we called it.
So yes, we did have a sponsor last year. Yes, we did have bananas.
Yes, and we did lots of shows and had lots of fun.
We did.
Although, as fun as that was,
it's better.
Much better being
yeah.
here live. Hearing the burners going off, you're seeing it right there on the screen from Hot Minute. That's Tristan and our ExxonMobil balloon. A number of our first wave balloons are going cold, meaning that they are putting the ambient air, which is a little cooler this morning, and all of a sudden...
I was going to say, I'm going cold too, and it's, as I was discussing yesterday, right at sunrise, the temperature usually drops 2 or 3 degrees. That'll be the coldest temperature of the day will be just right at sunrise, and that's what's happening now. There's a good layer of speed right up there just above us, watching that balloon that just flew by, low level. And there does appear to be some indication of a box this morning as some of the Dawn Patrol team were able to box back over us today. We'll watch to see if that stays in place once we begin our mass inflation this morning.
We are just moments away from our balloon of the day and the national anthem.
Pat Wiseman says your program last year was wonderful. Thank you, Pat. We had a good time doing it.
By the dawn's early light.
And there goes our balloon of the day, Dunkin' Donuts, and our national anthem from the United States Air Force Academy.
Oh, say, can you see?
Well, I'm not sure where our national anthem went.
Yeah, I heard.
They started.
Yeah.
So, I still kind of hear them in the background there.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe a microphone problem.
Issue on the stage.
Yeah, okay. So we'll give them another few minutes to see if we can get our singer on board with us.
Hey, Steve, in the truck down there, can you get Tyler over to the balloon? We are going to go in Exxon today. Sorry.
Was that known as talkback without using the talkback button?
That's exactly what happens, yep. Sometimes you have to communicate over the PA to tell the world what's going on.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're still trying to see if we can get the technical issue of the down on the stage worked out, I think. Meanwhile,
the rest of the launch is underway.
Yeah, our mass ascension is ascending. Essentially, we are underway, whether we're ready to be or not, I suppose. Our balloon of the day, the Dunkin' Donuts balloon, is up and away. And the first balloons out of the center of the field are beginning to go as well.
So apparently we're not going, there is a sound issue on the stage.
Okay.
So we're going to move on without the national anthem this morning.
Okay. There goes the Krispy Kreme balloon. Earlier they were leading our Krispy Kreme Baker's Dozen Donut Glow. And they're just getting airborne now, right over the top of the stage.
Yeah.
One of the ride balloons coming overhead as they're launching from the, you can see down, if you're down around the middle of the field, there's a good shot of it, that entire row of Rainbow Rider balloons. Rainbow Riders is always our official concessionaire. Scotty Appleman here at Balloon Fiesta with all of their fleet of balloons, but we have so many people looking for balloon rides during the event. They actually bring in contract ride pilots from around the country to provide additional basket space and passenger opportunities. And
I should mention that Jeff Duff from Albuquerque is flying the Krispy Kreme balloon.
You should mention that.
I should mention that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, mention that.
The other thing I'm thinking is I'm watching these balloons fly out of here.
Yes.
They're moving faster than our gas balloon pilots are.
As a matter of fact, they are. Yeah, I was commenting a few minutes ago. There is a good bit of speed in this very low layer here, just a couple of 100 feet off the ground. That's moving south to north. That's usually what we refer to as drainage, or moving north to south, I'm sorry. That's usually what we refer to as drainage winds. These are the winds that come down out of the canyons, the mountain canyons north of us, and flow across the field at low level. Then if you climb high, you get into what generally is a more genteel airflow that is south to north, and that's what comprises the box, the Albuquerque box that we're so famous for.
There's the New Mexico Tech banner on the balloon called Enchanted. Eric Greenwood from Albuquerque. He flew one of our official photographers yesterday morning.
Checking our...
Or she was out crewing with him. I don't know if she actually got in the balloon.
Oh, okay. Our Facebook feed, and Philip Gullo is watching, and he's probably watching to see when his dad is going to fly, because his dad, Michael, is one of our pilots here this week. Saw his comments from some time ago. I'm catching up with all the stream of comments on our feed, and the good news is the feed seems to be working perfectly this morning, so hopefully people all around the world are able to watch. I did see someone checking in from China. We saw South Korea and Belgium earlier, so we know that we do have a lot of international viewers, as well as people from all across the various across the United States that we see comments from.
I see the Nature Valley banner going by on the balloon piloted by Keith to Catch. That's To Catch a Breeze. And on the feed just a moment ago, I saw the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon take off from the far end of that Rainbow Riders line.
Yeah, I can see it now. That if I shade the TV lights in front of us, I can just see the balloon launching now. Kind of a beige with...
It's really white.
Is it white? Okay.
It's white, but as you've talked about last night, we have a whole lot of brown around New Mexico.
We do, yes.
So as you fly it around here, your white turns more brown.
Okay.
Fairly quickly.
Still a pretty balloon. But
it is, and it's one of the larger ones in the state of New Mexico. Off the southeast corner of the field, there goes Gary Miklicek and Olaf's. Yeah, I'm not going to go with your name of the balloon, but he's from Lafayette, California.
Belgium is still watching. Is that probably Michael? Michael Tilleman, I hope. Michael, if that's correct, from Belgium, but good morning. Anyway, sorry if I've murdered your name there. Phoenix, Arizona, saying good morning. Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. There goes Tristan McLean, banner number 300, waving at us in the ExxonMobil balloon. Kristen has a new balloon to him from 2 years ago. And there he's spinning around, and we can see the Balloon Fiesta Live banner on the side of the basket.
Yep.
Good job, Kristen.
And this year he's not having to find someone else to fly his balloon. If
Right.
you remember a couple of years ago, he had a little bit of a mishap and had to take himself out of the basket and have some friends fly the balloon for him. So
I talked to both of those who helped us out.
Yeah.
And appreciated that.
Yeah.
But good job.
Yeah, it's nice seeing that Balloon Fiesta Live basket banner on the balloon there.
You can bet that'll end up in the highlight reel.
Chris McCabe asking, when are the special shapes? Special shapes are Thursday and Friday of the week. We have our rodeos with the shapes on Thursday and Friday mornings, and then our shape glodeos are Thursday and Friday evenings. So thanks for asking about that. We're looking forward to seeing. We've got, what did you tell me? 84 is the last number that we had with special shapes?
That's the last number I had.
Okay.
I'm not quoting any numbers anymore. And
No,
don't hold me to any of them.
Yeah, don't quote me. Everything is kind of in flux, as they say. It's a fluid situation. But
look at this shot coming at us here. It's just, man,
it's
just a wave. Yeah. Rainbow Rider invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming at us from all points of the compass here. And there's a great shot of Rainbow Rider's logo right there on the feed.
And the 96.7 and the Sundance balloons and the Jack 102.3. Those are all part of the Rainbow Riders fleet this week.
Right.
Those are ride companies that work in other parts of the country where Rainbow Riders doesn't have an operation. They all join together under the umbrella of Scott Appleman and Rainbow Riders to be able to provide a number of paid rides. And as you can see, it's a great thing on your bucket list to get checked off. That one on the feed right there must be one of the Rainbow Riders that flies in Arizona.
Because it has the Arizona flag on one side,
and
the design on one side of the balloon.
Right, and Rainbow Riders does have an operation in the Phoenix Scottsdale area.
That's right,
yep.
Yeah. There goes, I believe that's Jerry Kopus. Might be, I wonder if his son Spencer is actually doing any of the flying here this weekend.
This big white equator with the black bands?
Yeah, the white equator with the multicolored checkboard pattern around the side of it. Out of Kentucky, the great state of Kentucky, is Jerry, as a matter of fact.
It is Jerry.
It is Jerry? Oh.
Yep.
Hey, Jerry! Jerry!
He's kind of, he's a little far. He can't see us for the roof.
He's doing some of that pilot stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Get distracted when you got to fly the balloon.
There goes Solaire in one of the racer balloons. Sean Reyes.
Yep, and there is the Cosmic Crisp Apple. Now, we talked about special shapes. That's one of the newest shapes here in the United States. They've been flying. They debuted the balloon a few months ago, as I recall. I think it was in Shreveport, Louisiana, where we had the U.S. Team Nationals. But Cosmic Crisp, their Apple balloon. I think that was it Justin Wilkinson? I can't think of the first name off the top of my head, and I don't have my spotter app open yet. There's the Oxy balloon. Oxy with the captain balloon here, the red, blue, and silver balloon with the stars. Oxy is a new sponsor with us this year, and they had a company reception last evening over on the other side of the roof from us last night that looked really, really nice. So all of their folks got treated to a really beautiful balloon glow last evening and gas balloon flight. So
Matt Hurst is the pilot.
Hey, Matt, and thank you, Oxy, for being with us this year.
You betcha.
Good to have you on board at Balloon Fiesta.
Glad you guys are here. Have a great flight. So here is on the other side, we talked about the Arizona flag on Rainbow Riders. Here's a Rainbow Riders that has the New Mexico Zia on it.
Zia,
I think this is their newest ride balloon.
Yep. I love the check bucket list noted down on the side of the balloon as well. There's a check mark, bucket list, Rainbow Riders.
I think that's the balloon that might be 375.
It's big.
1,000 cubic feet of air.
Oh, and there's a coyote right there on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Right around the
there it is, right there in the design.
Yeah, in the design.
Hadn't seen that in the pictures.
Yeah, that's cool.
There you go. Obviously, the bigger the envelope, the more lift you get. Therefore, you can have
the more weight you could carry.
Bigger baskets, more people.
Excuse me. Morning nap attack.
Bill Walker taking his honeydew balloon off right in front of us. Multicolors around the equator, a rainbow of colors with blue at the top and the bottom. And we don't see it from this angle, but certainly a yellow smiley face on top.
Looking through the crowd, I can see the U.S. Bank balloon a couple of rows deep there.
There's the spider on
I was
Itsy
just about to
Bitsy
say,
Spider.
I had also noticed right next to the Cosmic Apple is the Itsy Bitsy balloon with the spider on the side. And the zebra balloon also standing tall as you move a little further down that row of balloons.
That's Mr. Z.
Mr. Z, yep. I wonder if he flew internationally if they would call him Mr. Z, because that's how they don't have the letter. Well, they do have the letter Z, but they don't say Z. They say Z, with like zebra and zebra. I don't know. They're just
good question.
So that would be Mr. Z if he were flying, perhaps on the other side of the pond. Humpty Dumpty is here with us. I just got a quick look at him. Rich Lawhorn, the pilot in the Humpty Dumpty balloon.
So I believe because of what's happening, they're asking the balloons to, when they do lift off, to kind of get just a little bit of altitude,
and
kind of get up
and
and clear.
In that layer, yeah.
And then they do hit that quick layer, and they're kind of gone quickly.
Yep, and then they're. We haven't yet seen anybody boxing. I'm looking up above, and I don't see anybody boxing back over just yet, but we'll watch for that. We did see some of that.
Well, it took a while for the Dawn Patrol guys to get back over, so it's the box back north must be a little bit slower. Take them a while to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you can feel a little bit of breeze here on the rooftop studio.
Yeah.
This morning here at ground level. So.
Pinnacle propane balloon. Pinnacle providing the propane to fly these balloons this week. A great sponsor, great partner, if you will, to help us. And of course, we use Pinnacle propane here in Albuquerque all year long.
There's a great shot on the feed of one of those ride balloon baskets, and you can see that how much larger. It's almost like 3 sport balloon baskets.
That's my favorite shot, looking up into an envelope from the bottom.
Envelopes, yeah. Some years ago.
There you go.
Some years ago here at Balloon Fiesta, when I was with Thunder and Colt Balloons, we brought out a new ride balloon that we had built for a client, and because the basket was so large, it was a couple of days before Fiesta started, to test fly the balloon as we delivered it to the buyer, and so a bunch of us had to fly with them just to provide weight. in the basket. And having only flown sport balloons at that time in my life, well, that's all I ever flew, I was really quite uncomfortable as a pilot because I was over on one of the side partitions at the end of the basket, and I couldn't see across the other side of the basket to see what was going on around the balloon. For me, it was very unnerving. Of course, these ride pilots fly that way all the time. They're used to it, but for a sport balloon pilot who's used to being able to see all around the basket, all 4 sides, it was a bit unnerving to be in a big balloon like that. I was never that comfortable with it.
I keep bugging Troy Bradley, who's one of the chief pilots for Rainbow Riders, to take me along so I could have that experience.
Yeah, it's different. You'll find that it's definitely different. It absolutely is. There goes the Cosmic Crisp Apple.
And it is Justin Wilkinson.
It is Justin Wilkinson. So I guessed right. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Steve,
from Bermuda Dunes, California.
Yeah.
There he is.
So good morning, Justin. And I have a feeling that Justin is somehow related to Steve and Cynthia Wilkinson, who have been longtime balloonists and friends of mine.
Wave, Justin.
Whatever you do, though, don't take a bite out of that apple.
There you go.
Not that one.
Not that one.
So Mr. Zed has turned it away from us. Doesn't seem to like us this morning. Meanwhile, Humpty Dumpty is just about ready to go. There's one of those smiley faces on the top of a balloon. There are a lot of those.
There's a view inside the balloon. Well, there's the top. We were looking inside, and then there's the top.
And for those that don't know, that's what we call, when we refer to the parachute vent, that's what we're talking about. It's like a parachute that plugs the hole at the top of the balloon.
If you kind of look at the upper left of that shot, you can see the opening there.
Exactly, yeah. And they're held in place by Velcro or hook and loop fastener, Velcro being a copyrighted, trademarked.
I'll collect that royalty.
Yeah, thank you. But when you're ready to deflate the balloon, there is a rope that runs from that parachute top down into the basket, deflation rope, red line, vent line, and all you have to do is you pull that rope, and it pops that bit of fabric, that parachute fabric, pops it loose and opens a hole at the top of the balloon. That allows you to either vent hot air, because we were talking about vents last night in gas balloons. In the case of a hot air balloon with a vent like that, you can actually pop that open and let some of the hot air escape in order to put the balloon into a descent. But then it will reseal and close, and then you just reheat the air inside the balloon. You can't do that in a gas balloon, but that's the deflation port or the vent or the parachute. You'll hear people use all those terms in relation to the balloon, but that's what they're talking about, is that, and people say, well, why don't you fly with parachutes? Well, you have one up above you. And if you think about the old airborne parachutes, the World War II era time, their parachutes weren't the flying wings that skydivers use today. They were big round parachutes. It's like just taking the top half of a balloon and jumping with it.
There's Humpty Dumpty on the screen.
Yep, and
Mr. Z
Mr.
is
Z
airborne
is also
as well.
getting airborne. Mr. Zed, the zebra, getting airborne. Our Fast Tracks folks are with us this morning, again, setting up some of their gear. They'll be jumping this evening at 5 o'clock, and then again during our
Balloon glow
this evening. And tonight is the original balloon glow. Is
Tonight
that right?
we call it the balloon glow, yes, because we didn't put a special name on it because when we did it, we only did one night.
Right.
When we originally
Used to be
started
we only
this-
had one glow.
One glow, it was the balloon glow, and that's what it was called. That was on the first Sunday night in those early days, and so now I'm starting to call this one the original.
The original balloon glow. Okay.
That's my term.
I like your term.
Thanks.
We'll go with that. We got to work on something for that phone glow you like to do.
Yeah, we do.
Gotta
Yeah.
come up with a name for that.
Yeah.
There is Jonathan Wright is here and he's one of those folks that has two identical balloons. There's his racer, and then right next to it is his what we would call round balloon taking off. And I'm not sure which one Jonathan's in. I'm going to guess maybe he's flying the racer. He might be coming right at us.
Well, and the Wright family also flies Mr. Z.
Oh,
so
do
I don't
they?
know. I don't
Okay.
know who's flying. We don't know who's flying any of them.
Kind of like the Hartzels. At least these guys have three different balloons.
We
The
can pick
Hartzels
out-
have three balloons that all look the same.
Yeah.
We'll know if this is Jonathan as he comes over. Jonathan has a very distinctive mohawk hairstyle, so he's easy to pick out of a crowd if he goes flying by. And if he's listening, but he's not. He's
He's
venting
not
the
looking.
balloon
He's looking.
right now.
Yeah, he's paying attention. He's got
Yeah,
behind him.
he's flying the balloon, which is always
Which is what
job
he needs to
number
be
one.
doing.
So
That's it.
great. Not listening
So
to us.
look up high, Glenn.
Oh, there is a box.
There is
Ladies
the
and
box
gentlemen.
is still there.
The box
It is
here.
very high.
It is.
It's pretty high. But it's
here.
there.
Yep.
It is there.
So some of those balloons, and again, by the box, we talk about the fact that the balloons can go out low and then climb to altitude and get high and move back over the launch field. And they certainly have already been able to, a few have done that already.
Fly out north of the field, drop down, make a pass on the field. If they can delay that distance and getting back here, they could conceivably land back here on the field.
That's right.
If we have already launched
If
everybody.
we've launched everybody.
So
yeah.
they can't be too quick or they won't be able to land back here.
Of course, our competitive pilots will be hoping that we have that set up tomorrow morning when we begin competition.
There's a great shot of the size of that balloon
Oh, yeah,
basket.
look at
One
the
of those
size of
ride
those baskets. My
Yes.
goodness. I always say it's kind of like taking a, good morning. It's like taking, almost like taking a Volkswagen bus, one of the old camper vans, and connecting it to a balloon and going to fly. There they go. Matter of fact, launch director giving them a thumbs up. And banner number 630 is getting airborne. Lots of happy passengers waving, good morning, good morning, good morning. And they're off on probably a bucket list experience. So have a great flight. Hope you enjoy it. There is the U.S. Bank balloon as we talked. There's, again, Itsy Bitsy, the spider balloon from Preventive Pest Care. There's, I see the balloon for Cavenders is out there. We see the banner on the side of their balloon. Dale Wong is here from Rancho Cucamonga. And Ursa Minor, that's the green balloon with the purple, pink, yellow, blue stripes around it. He's not yet launched, but will be here shortly, just beside the U.S. Bank balloon. Another good look into some of the baskets. And there's our emoji balloon. You can just see the two eyes and the eyebrows peeking between the balloons there if you're watching on the feed. U.S. Bank balloon up and away now. I believe that's Scott McClinton, part of his balloon group. And we're kind of watching, we expect a little bit, now that most of the Rainbow Rider balloons have taken off, we're expecting that group of radio-controlled, or RC balloons, to start inflating. They should be down around the middle of the field. About row P, I believe, is what Art was telling me earlier that we'll be watching for. As we'll be getting all of these guys in the air this morning. There's our pumpkin balloon. There's another group of happy passengers getting airborne. Great shot on the feed of the basket and the, again, one of our ride balloons just taking off this morning. Golden Corral has their balloon upright in front of us. It's kind of a golden, as it would be, golden yellow at the bottom, bleeding into oranges and reds, and then eventually fading up into darker blues at the top of the balloon. They're just down in front of sponsor Corporate Village here in front of our officials tower, where, my goodness, do you think we could squeeze any more people up onto that tower this morning? Our weatherman Brad Tiemeyer is up there. All sorts of officials on the tower this morning. Mission Linen Supply getting airborne. They've been a sponsor as long as I can remember here at Balloon Fiesta in the 32 years that I've been doing this. The bright yellow balloon with that multicolored starburst on the far west-hand side of the field is Mission Linen Supply. And again, they've been with us for a number of years. Realty One of New Mexico also airborne in their teal balloon with the orange spires and the white diamonds there just crossing to our west.
That's Jay Mason flying that one.
Is that Jay? Okay.
Yep. And Jerry Graff was flying the Mission Linen that
you
talked
Jerry
about
Graff,
just a minute.
Right, yeah. As I say, they've been a sponsor as long as I can remember, from the very earliest days of my being here.
Sorry to leave you hanging there for a few minutes.
No, I know you were doing executive producer kind of stuff.
I was.
Over there.
We've got a great idea for later in the week.
Uh-oh. Sometimes that bothers me when you start getting creative. You know, I'm never sure about some of those things.
There's a great shot of a balloon taking off right there. Yeah, there they go.
Yep. Down below, he's not listening to us. He's having a conversation with someone. But Sam Parks.
He's talking to the Fast Tracks team.
Oh, is that Fast Tracks he's speaking to? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Sam Parks, who is...
They're involved in our...
they're involved in our
new idea and scheme.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they are.
Well, at least if they're involved, I know it'll be conducted safely. I'm not sure how. So, yeah, there's the Cavender's balloon I mentioned earlier, that the dreaded multicolor balloon. It's vertical checkboard of blues and reds and pinks, it looks like, from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, and if you looked on the other side, it would be yellow and green.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of a checkered rainbow around the balloon then.
Did you mention Itsy Bitsy?
I did mention them.
Don Moyer's got preventive pest control.
With preventive pest control and the big spiders on the side. Look at which one?
On the feed.
Oh, the one on the feed. Oh, you know who that is? That is Cameron Wall. And the great story behind this balloon, that was created from watercolors that his grandmother is quite the artist. There it is on the feed again. And she does these sea life watercolors. And he went to Kubitschek Balloons, and they took some of her original paintings, and it was all printed, like photographically printed on white balloon fabric and then sewn together. They even captured his grandmother's signature, which, if you get a chance to see it, is down around the throat of the balloon. Again, one of those stories that we've told in Ballooning Journal, the official publication of the Balloon Federation of America. And good to see Cameron here. That is a stunning balloon, really, really gorgeous, and a great tribute to his grandmother, who is a lovely lady. So that's the story, the backstory to that beautiful balloon with all the seascapes on it.
I think you mentioned Golden Corral go by before. They were just waving at us and hollering at us as they went over.
Yep. Bill Adler out of Longview, Texas, airborne again this morning in that balloon with the broad bands of green, yellow, red, and blue. Bill and his wife, Jean, residents of Longview, Texas, just about an hour east of me. Bill used to own a tire repair shop and for years kept the tires on my vehicles, kept me traveling around the country with where the rubber hits the road, I suppose. He and his wife, Jean, now retired and enjoying the good life.
Still a quick layer right here in the first couple 100 feet.
If I'm not mistaken, that the racer there with the multi-shades of blues, white, and black on it, I think that's Richard Saban, also out of Longview, Texas.
One of nearly a dozen red, white, blues with star balloons behind him.
Yeah, that's not an RC balloon, but look how much smaller that little balloon is there. Oh,
it's
that's a hopper.
It's a hopper.
It's a hopper, yeah. It looked like for a moment there was a small basket underneath it, but no. That little yellow balloon with the blue and green and the red and orange spiral that goes up around it, you can see it just crossing over the south edge of the field here to our right. And if you were looking closely, you can see the pilot's legs dangling down below. So that's what's called a cloud hopper, a one-man balloon. One-person balloon, I think, would be the appropriate way of saying that now.
Yes.
One pilot, one occupant, one whatever. One person.
That's one of those that it's a little easier to set up and pack back. You know, you can almost
hopper by yourself, fly by yourself with a hopper, yeah.
Not needing the entire crew.
The crews that we were talking about yesterday. There goes Ursa Minor and my good friend Dale Wong out of Rancho Cucamonga.
What city would you have that kind of announcement for if Dale wasn't here?
Well, I'm trying to remember what it was because I was saying yesterday, I saw a television show where I was surprised because the announcer said it exactly like I do, Rancho Cucamonga. You know, and I take it that I guess I sort of took that from, you know, who's the guy that does the boxing, you know, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where I got the Rancho Cucamonga from.
I think a lot of that style came from the boxing announcer, ring announcers.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the guy, the boxing announcer. He's the one that goes, let's get ready to rumble.
And it's kind of moved over to football and now to Rancho Cucamonga and ballooning.
Well, we announcers are nothing if not cheats, you know, and copycats.
That's it. You see something that works, and all of a sudden it's in your repertoire.
Yeah. I'm working with a great group of coaches right now. I'm branching into the world of professional voiceover, voice acting. And Terry Daniel, if you're listening, hi, Terry. And so I don't know if they, you know, do things like that where you hear the style of someone that you like and you sort of emulate it and bring it into your repertoire.
Another one of those racers that's taking off from the east side of the field. Blue at the top and the bottom, and a nice red zigzag through it.
And a sponsor banner on the side.
KRQE, one of our local TV stations. That's Funner is the name of the balloon. Kelly Keller from Box Elder, South Dakota.
And Kelly Keller, by the way, is the new U.S. National Women's Hot Air Balloon Champion, having won the U.S. Nationals just earlier this summer. Fresh off of her victory as a new national champion.
If you get some video of us, will you send it to us?
There's the Coronado Center balloon. We'll talk about them, obviously. Joe Zavada is here, I believe. I think that's Joe in that racer that is black, silver, white, and yellow spiral. Pat Fogue is out there in the IMTS balloon. I see Steve Jones and his racer, the yellow top with the checkered orange bottom balloon. Doug Gant also there with When Pigs Fly, his pink flying pig special shape.
They're waving at us.
Are they? Oh, yeah.
On the screen there.
There's so many things to look at that, you know, you watch the monitor, you watch what's happening in real life. There goes our emoji balloon, the smiley face emoji. Our pumpkin balloon is here. There goes Joe Zavada now, climbing into the sky in his racer. Joe is a frequent contributor to Ballooning Magazine in the world of competition, and appreciate his support all the time.
Up here on the rooftop.
I was going to say, we have a guest.
We do. Right up here on the rooftop studio. We saw him this morning at Pilot's Briefing. Our balloon meister, Mr. Henry Rosenbaum. Good morning, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Good morning, Glenn. How are y'all today?
Yeah, we're having a great day up here. What about you? You're the guy that's making this all happen.
Well, the pilots out here and the crew is who is truly making it happen. And
I just happen to be the one that gets to coordinate a couple things.
Well,
but
there you go.
What a Chamber Commerce Day.
Isn't it?
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I did bring y'all gifts. I've got 2 of the Balloon Meister pins. I'll leave on the table, one for each of you.
We certainly have announcer pins for you as well.
Well, thank you. And I think y'all have spoken about it a little bit about today being the memorial flight.
Actually, we have not, but we should be sure to mention. It's a good time to mention about that. Yes.
So at our briefing, the first Sunday of Fiesta is our memorial flight, and that's where the balloonist will fly a white ribbon, on their basket. And if you'll zoom in, I've seen it on some of your photos there. It's hanging on their uprights.
Right.
And it's a way of us balloonists to remember those that are not with us.
I think the pilots, I remember when we first started that, Sam Parks was kind enough to bring one up here.
Yes.
And pilots inscribe, they can write on the ribbon the name of someone that they wish to remember, and then attach it to the balloon and fly it.
Yeah, and it's been 2 years since we've been able to do this, so we've lost a lot of people in those last 2 years, whether it's balloonist, our crew, our family. It's just
we have one on the feed there. On our basket here. We can see
that white streamer right
on the
there.
screen.
So, so those people are in our thoughts every day.
Yeah.
And we are fortunate because they are above us and they're seeing a beautiful show today. So all those that are not here, we just want to tell them we love them, we miss them, and we did something special on the pins this year. So I have a dear friend of mine, David Hughes, who was a crew member, passed away in 2020. So big shout out to Big Dave, and we miss him every day. So.
Well, if we're doing shout outs, I'll toss one out to a longtime friend in Plano, Texas, Pete Carter, who passed away, and his wife Kathy wanted us to remember him on the memorial flight today. And so happy to do that. Pete was a longtime commercial balloonist and the organizer of the Plano Balloon Festival for a number of years in Texas. Just a couple of the many that we remember this morning.
Right. And you're right. Unfortunately, it is many, and that list is very long. But just families that are still here know that we think about those folks every day, and this is just one day that we can truly show our memory by displaying these white ribbons on our baskets.
And couldn't have a more beautiful day for it.
Unbelievable. And look, the little box is it's a little higher.
A little high, but it's there.
And we're excited. So we've got another. We're not even halfway through the first wave, and then we've got a second wave.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Henry, you've been interacting with the pilots, obviously, daily at the pilot briefing, et cetera. We think we know, but what's been the feeling about being back?
They love it. This is truly what the balloonists like to do. They want to fly our balloons. They want to interact with the public, and they're just excited. And to be back here in Albuquerque, the world's largest gathering of hot air balloons, it's unbelievable. So they're happy to be here. They're happy to interact with the citizens and the public around. And it's a good feeling to get back to this normalcy that we love and enjoy.
You know, Art and I have commented that it has been 2 years since we've all gathered here, and yet, in a sense, it feels that way. In another sense, it does not. I guess for those of us who've been doing this for some time now, and you're certainly among that group, do you have that sense of time that it has been 2 years since we've not done it, or does it a little bit feel like, it was just last week? Yeah.
It does, but in certain ways, when we refer back to the last time we were here, we say last year.
We've done the same thing.
And we have to catch ourselves and says last year was 2 years ago.
That's right.
But other than that, no. I mean, it's pilots fly year round, and whether they're not here, just because they're here flying is not the only time that they fly. So, but to be back with the friends and the family and the Albuquerque Fiesta that we are able to celebrate here during these 9 days, that's what we truly enjoy coming here.
You mentioned the word family, and I find that so true because I tell people a lot of times that, those of us who travel the circuit, if you will, who go from one balloon festival to another, we often have friends that we see that we make in those various regions where the balloons are at, like the Carolinas, Southeast United States, where you're from and where we've both been before. And it's almost like each rally is a family reunion, because as we gather and see our ballooning friends from different parts of the country that maybe we only see once a year at that event, it's like seeing your aunts and uncles and all your cousins and the family coming together, and that's very much the sense that you get here at Albuquerque, I think. Because we do come from all around the country, but suddenly we become family for the 9 days that we're here.
Yep, that's exactly right. And the neat thing about our family is what we get to show off sometimes are our newborns, our brand new balloons.
Yes.
So as you've been talking about throughout, is that there are a lot of new balloons here. and that's our newborn. So
yeah.
We're excited.
They are our babies and our children. Yeah,
yes, they are.
We definitely treasure them. Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
But y'all are doing a fantastic job. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks.
We've got a lot of planned events for today. So tonight's glow looks fantastic from the weather standpoint.
Yep.
And we're excited every day. And tomorrow morning we start our competition. So as you know, those majority of the pilots that are competing that will launch off-site, fly back in and compete. And they're competing for the title of the Balloon Fiesta 2021 champion.
Yeah, and I bet they're glad to see that box and hoping it's up there tomorrow morning.
Yeah. They are. I bet they want it a little
lower.
A little
lower.
lower.
But you're right. The good news is that it's here
yes.
because now it should set up. And Brad Tiemeyer, our weather guy, told us that yesterday that we should watch for it to set up.
Yep. Yeah, and we're starting to see that because of the cooler temperatures that we're experiencing, that drainage wind. It's setting up to be another good day even tomorrow.
Well, kudos to you and your staff because you guys do yeoman's work that a lot of people are not aware of and don't see. From you at the head all the way down to our launch directors, safety officers, the tons of volunteers that work to make this launch that seems so effortless takes an awful lot of work and coordination, and you and your staff do a great job.
Well, thank you, and I'll pass it on to them. And you do mention the volunteers. We refer to them as the navigators. So if you're out there and you see folks with the navigator jackets, thank them because they truly are volunteering their time to be here and to help put this event on. And as you said, it's a team effort. It's not at one individual or one group of people. It's everybody coming together to make this happen.
Well, and it's just like here at Balloon Fiesta Live. People think of Art and myself as Balloon Fiesta Live, but we have obviously Ruth and Kim, and then we have a great production team, Windfire Productions, behind us, who do all the behind-the-scenes work and make the technology work. So it is, as you say, it's no one person or group of people who make this work. There are tons of people who are working round the clock to make Fiesta the incredible entertainment that it is and to bring it off as flawlessly as we do.
Yeah, and we greatly appreciate that. What I'm also amazed is the folks that come here in the off hours, in the evening when it's dark. There are people on this ground getting this ground set up for the next day.
Right.
They're picking up the trash. They're rearranging the furniture. They're making the prep for the food.
Flagging off the mud spots.
Flagging off the mud spots. Whatever needs to be done. But we don't shut down when the fireworks end. There's another staff that comes on, and they're here for the 24 hours. So kudos to those folks. They're the public safety folks that are here 24 hours looking over the property for us to make sure that we're safe.
Well, our thanks to you and all of your staff and to all of the volunteers, the navigators, for helping to make the event what it is. And you're right, it is great to be back. We look forward to, we have 8 more days, today being, I guess, day 2, so 7 or 8 more days still to come. Lots and lots still to come.
11 more sessions after today.
Yeah, 11 more events still to come.
That's what amazing is. Not just the 9 days; it's all the sessions.
All the sessions that we have.
So
and if you break down the, between Dawn Patrol, Mass Ascension, RC Balloons, Krispy Kreme, when you really start to count it in that fashion, that number gets even higher in terms of individual events that we put together.
Yeah, each session has so many different pieces in it. Henry Rosenbaum, Balloonmeister, thanks for coming up and chatting with us. We'll chat more during the week, and we'll see you at Pilots Briefing again for sure.
Yep. Thank you and all your staff. We love you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All righty, so we can get back to our Mass Ascension here. While we were talking with Henry, I saw Darth Vader and Yoda. They are both airborne now. Saw some of our guests getting photo opportunities with them as well. I see Arabelle the cow inflating out there. There's Yoda on the screen.
There's Yoda. He's fly high, I will. Yeah.
Especially today with that high box.
Yeah.
But as the morning goes on, more and more of them are getting up in those box wins.
Yeah, look overhead. High above us, there's a huge group of balloons there.
Yeah, and as I look kind of back behind us, there's a whole lot more coming.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch coming. It's not very fast back to the north.
No, there is speed down below. You can see the balloons that are going over us for the first time, moving at a decent little clip. But as they climb up, it slows, but it does work its way back to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I suspect we're going to see a number of people back on the field.
Well, I was just going to say, once we clear the field, I would suspect, especially some of the later balloons that launch, will then be able to box around. Or maybe
those kind of in the middle of the launch cycle.
The guys who launched early, they won't still be airborne at that point. They won't be up there long enough to be able to wait for the field to clear to come back.
But there's Krispy Kreme still coming back around.
Yeah, but others, I suspect that And usually
but this is what
Henry and his team will open the field once the balloons have all launched and it's cleared. Then they'll open the field and allow landings back on the field this morning.
Yeah, look at that shot, looking right up inside the balloon.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
I see my next door neighbor, Pat Harwell, is airborne now in his balloon Maverick. That's the royal blue balloon with the Mardi Gras spiral around it, the purple, green, and gold spiral, just crossing over Main Street now. And as I look over in that direction, there is Pat Fogue still in the IMTS balloon. Smokey Bear is now with us. And did you say Beth is flying?
Beth Wright-Smith
is flying Smokey
is flying
Bear
Smokey this year.
All right. Arabelle the cow, of course, is cold inflating over there.
There's Dos Equis, Phillips 66. The white one is Xfinity, so a number of our sponsor balloons getting ready to take off as well.
Pat Fogue just getting airborne now in the IMTS balloon. I see the Fiesta balloon through the crowd there, back right behind the Seasons balloon.
Yep.
The one that has the, I can see the snowman and the daisy. And on the other side, I think there is a pumpkin, and what's the other season? Oh, Sunny Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ray Bear will be flying the Fiesta balloon for us today.
Okay.
And is that Chipley there? What's the name of the balloon with the...
Oh, yeah, Chimpley. With the chimp looking like he's trying to bite his way out through the... Yeah, I haven't seen that balloon in a while now. Yeah.
I saw it yesterday.
Well, okay.
So, of course, this field is big enough that, as Henry mentioned, we go through 2 waves. But even on a wave, we are launching from 2 ends. So we're launching from the south end, and then we start again in the middle. And as we're working our way to the north, then we'll come do that again. And you mentioned Smokey Bear, and Beth, Smokey Bear is indeed airborne.
Yeah, and as Beth gets Smokey airborne, I can see now, you mentioned a minute ago, Dos Equis.
Scott Appleman flying Dos Equis.
Yeah, yeah.
And a dose of hot
air.
air.
A dose of hot air.
A dose of fun. Look at that shot of Smokey Bear. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looking right at us. Good morning, Smokey. Good morning, Beth.
There was a great book published just a few years ago about the Smokey Bear balloon. And I'm fortunate to have a copy of that in my library.
Smokey found down in Capitan, New Mexico.
Yep.
You were talking about Cindy Holmes. There's Jerry Holmes in his Liberty balloon. The red, white, blue with the bunting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure is. Yep. Where are they on the field?
They're going over Main Street.
Okay. Oh, I see him up high now. Yeah, I can see him on the feed, and then I couldn't locate him in real life in front of me. And what's the banner on the side of Twisted Gator here? House, what does that say?
Holly Frontier?
Holly Frontier?
That's what it looks like to me.
The Twisted Gator, that spiraled blue and orange balloon with the white right in between, that was the first spiral pattern balloon built by Aerostar Balloons.
We mentioned the Fiesta balloon. It is now airborne. And coming right over the top of us is Mike Kelly in Flamboyant. I think that's the name of his balloon.
And just waiting to launch now that the Fiesta balloon is airborne is Tammy Schrum in her pink camo balloon.
So I'm looking up, checking out the box here, and we talked about the quick speeds down here low. I see Keith the Catch coming back higher, much slower. So there's actually, we're still south for quite a ways up, but it's slower up higher. And then you get way high to get the north direction.
Okay.
So lots of different speeds up there. Couple of different directions though, south and then back north. I don't see much of it east or west. Must be a little bit because I see Cameron way, out a little bit to the west. So probably in the transition, there's a little bit of movement to the east or the west.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about our mutual friend Keith Berry, and I saw in the comments on our Facebook feed that Keith is on his way out. He'll be out here later in the week, coming out to help Billy. our friend Billy Broker.
Billy.
Yeah. I see Guy Goff here. Yesterday we were talking about, was it Dave Sullivan who had the orange crush balloon, that bright neon orange balloon we were talking about?
No, Dave's flying a blue and yellow one.
Okay, well, who was flying Orange Crush?
I don't remember.
Anyway, we were talking about them yesterday. I would have sworn it was Dave Sullivan, but I guess
David Bristol.
David Bristol. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was David.
David somebody.
The other David. Anyway, we were talking about it because I said it reminded me of my friend Guy Gauthier's balloon, and Guy's balloon is now in the air. It is that bright orange balloon, but it has that band of multicolored panels. Yeah, multicolored band around the center. Whereas David Bristol's Orange Crush is solid orange, but they're both top and bottom of Guy's balloon is that same bright neon orange, and that's why yesterday I thought maybe that was Guy when we could only see the top of the balloon, but it's not. But there's Guy right now. There is Tim Cloyd also in his balloon. I think the balloon name is High Plains Drifter that has the cross on the side of it. Tim is a just retired member of the board of directors of the Balloon Federation of America. Served for 6 years on the board and was secretary of the organization for 6 years. One of those thankless tasks that usually goes to, the newest person that gets elected to the board says, oh, guess what? You get to be secretary and take all the minutes and all that. Well, Tim got that job when he first got on the board, his first year as a rookie, and did an excellent job at it and kept it for all 6 years that he was on the board. So
good deal.
Kudos to Tim for an excellent job, and he was an outstanding director of the BFA.
There's the RV Life balloon that was just taking off in our picture there. RV Life, a great new sponsor here at Balloon Fiesta.
Oh, yeah, must have heard you because they turned around and gave us 2 big thumbs up.
There you go. I like these shots we have right there on the field, right there. You're up against the basket.
Yeah.
See the burner of the pilot. Look up inside the balloon. See
up
what's
close and
happening.
personal.
So that rope, that line that's kind of coming over his shoulder there, and it looks like there's a little handle. It could almost look like a knife at his back too.
Well, it is, yeah. Certain angles, yes.
It does. That's the tie-off line, and the handle piece there would be the quick release.
Yeah.
So it's tied off to the truck. Hopefully it's tied off to the truck, but that's what the regulations say.
Right.
And it's just in case a wind gust were to come up, it would keep the balloon from being airborne when the pilot is not ready. So they'll get enough heat in the balloon so that the balloon is buoyant and basically off the ground, and then they'll release that quick release and let the balloon go. Speaking of going, there goes Dos Equis and Scott Appleman.
Tie-offs are an interesting concept because I can remember when I first got in the sport back in the, I got into the sport in the early 80s, and at one of our first safety seminars in North Texas, Bruce Comstock was there and talked about tying off his balloon, and he showed a video where he had tied off the balloon, and as he was inflating, he was tied off to a truck, and the balloon was moving the truck.
Yes.
And the comment amongst most of the pilots there, this was when tie-offs were not common. They are today. They were not then. And the comment was, well, if it's so windy, that I got to tie off the balloon, well, I'm not going flying. And it's amazing to see how that has evolved, because today tie-offs and quick releases are essentially standard equipment.
They are.
For any hot air balloon, that you tie the balloon off. And I can remember a year here at Fiesta, I think it was in one of the special shave rodeo, when we used to fly in the afternoons, before we did the glodios, when one of the tie-off ropes broke and the balloon went airborne.
It was
unexpectedly.
Sam. It was Uncle Sam.
It was,
and it was Scott Appleman who's flying.
That's right.
Dos Equis
it was Scotty who was flying.
Who was flying Uncle Sam.
Yeah, and so those ropes are very much a safety feature that keep the balloon tied off, and so that it doesn't get airborne until the pilot is ready to go airborne, and then the quick release allows them to release that rope very quickly and easily. Quickly, of course, as the name implies. But it's been interesting to see that's evolved within our sport within the last 30 years or so, because there was a time when no one used a quick release or a tie-off, didn't even know what they were, and now they're standard equipment.
I just got a glimpse of Cork. There it is. Cork the puppy, one of our new special shapes.
Oh!
Right below the off-your-rocker balloon.
Yeah, oh, how cute.
Yes.
Looks a little bit like my niece's dog. I'll have to get a picture of that. There's the Phillips 66 balloon. I think you talked about them.
That's one of the cork puppy is one of the new balloons from Brazil.
Okay.
We don't have nearly as many new balloons here from Brazil this year
normally
due to
we have a whole host
stuff.
of special shapes here from there.
But that one did make it.
We do have a new unicorn balloon that'll be here this year too, because its pilot is a newly elected member of the board of directors of the BFA. He was showing his pictures there, so I'm sure we'll see that on Thursday and Friday, our special shapes days.
And those are Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And it's not just special shapes. We feature them, but we still have in the morning our competition with the regular shape balloons.
Right, yeah.
Including the ring the pole, formerly known as the key grab.
Yeah, we have the special shapes, primarily the special shape balloons inflate on the field and launch out as we're doing this morning, fly away. And then we have the competition, the fly-in events afterwards. And there will be some Fiesta flyers who will fly off the field on those mornings, but primarily the field is reserved for the special shapes. There is, speaking of shapes, there is one of the other pig shapes that we have here. We saw Doug Gant earlier in When Pigs Fly, and I can see the other pink pig. Pegasus, who is out there with his cool sunshades on.
Trying to pick up the balloon that we keep looking at the pilot there. See if I can, I know I have that in the spotter here.
Right almost right next to Pegasus, I can see the Spot the Wonder. That is Chris and Amanda Savia flying the Wonder Bread balloon, white balloon with the red, yellow, and blue accents.
There's with the motorcycle on the side. With all the new balloons and balloon changes and last-minute ads and subtractions and things those along the line, it's been interesting trying to keep up the spotter app to be able to spot these folks.
I was saying earlier, it has been literally since Fiesta 2 years ago that I've really been out doing any active announcing, because a lot of the balloon events around the country were postponed because of not just Fiesta, but numerous other events around the country were postponed because of COVID. And in that time, pilots have gotten new balloons, or it's just been 2 years since I've seen them. And so I find myself thinking, oh, I know that balloon. That's, that's, who is that again?
Yeah, I know.
And so I'm experiencing a bit of that this morning as well. You think, and then you just can't bring them to mind as quickly as in the past, because it's been a while since we've seen some of these folks. And
we have to dig deeper into those brain cells.
Yeah, I got to get the old gray matter stirred up and get the protons and the neons and ions and whatever, kind of spinning around up there. Way off at the far south end of the field, one of my favorite balloons, there's Betty Bowens in the balloon that has the piano keyboard around the bottom and then the musical staff around the center of the balloon. There is...
We had to look that name up, the name of that balloon up yesterday.
Looked it up yesterday, and I can't recall it off the top of my head
Something
now.
With
gorgeous balloon. But just above it, the little balloon with the puppy on the side, that is Dean Carlton. Dean is out of the Danville, Illinois area, also a former member of the board of directors of the BFA, a past BFA president, who for years had a balloon called Kazoo, if you remember. It was one of the pink zebra balloons.
Yep.
And now this one they built with the puppy. The puppy is actually a composite of a couple of their family pets. There you see it, the teal-colored balloon with the, I think that's a retriever, a golden retriever maybe. I'll have to ask Dean when I see him again, which will probably be later today. The Balloon Federation of America has its annual general meeting at 11 o'clock today.
The special shape part of that is the little nose kind of puffs
Right,
on.
the nose is three-dimensional.
There's Ballooniful Sunrise on the screen.
I was just about to say, speaking of 3 dimensions.
There you have the same type of deal.
Yeah.
Still counts as a special shape. There's Pegasus and the Rax building supply from Los Lunas right next to it.
And
so the balloon we've been watching,
getting airborne too.
So the balloon we've been watching, the quick release we've been talking about, that's actually So Grateful with SEW, So Grateful.
Oh, okay.
Mark Harris from Denver.
And as Spot the Wonder gets airborne, we can feel a bit of a breeze kicking up now.
That quick layer we've been watching just dropped
down to the ground. Yeah, I can see the big sky balloon, royal blue, sky blue, navy blue with a white band around the center. Is I think that's John Petrin who's flying that balloon this year, and that is a brand new balloon for the brand new ABC television program, Big Sky, which actually premiered this week, a couple of days ago on ABC.
So Tristan McLean on an Exxon Mobil balloon just went streaming by on our west. So he managed to make the complete box. You know what? Looking up, that box is not as high as it was. Because what happens here, all these wind layers, they just continue to come down to the ground and then kind of dissipate. So that breeze that we were seeing really fast above is now kind of right here on the ground.
That's what's come down to the surface, yeah.
And those north winds giving us the north box dropping down a little bit. They don't have to go quite so high to get that.
And that surface layer is also what is cooling the temperatures, because now we have a slight bit of wind chill involved with the air temperature as well.
I see the Red Devil out there by
Yeah, it's right Betty's. Out there by Betty's balloon, and then just a couple of spots further to the left and maybe a row or two closer to us is the balloon that is made in the fashion of the, I believe that's the state of Maryland flag. I used to do a balloon event up in Baltimore, Maryland. It was the Preakness Balloon Festival, as a matter of fact.
We're going to remember this by the end of the week. Betty's Baby Grand.
Betty's Baby Grand, okay. Yeah, and she's just gone airborne, and there goes the Maryland flag balloon, as I was talking about a moment ago.
So we can see the keyboard of it. And there goes So Grateful. Mark Harris, yep. Let the quick release go, and there he goes. Waving to everybody.
Cool Beans is inflating off to our left here at the south end of the field. The green, blue, purple, yellow, and I think there's some red in there somewhere, spiral balloon.
Looks like Cool Beans might have a new top, new parachute.
Well,
the colors are a little brighter.
Yeah, they are. And yesterday, if you'll recall, they inflated, and then I looked over and they had pulled the top out and deflated, and then they re-inflated and launched. So maybe they were having some issues getting that new top to sit properly, perhaps.
If it's it could be. I mean, the white is really white.
It is, yeah. And I have no personal knowledge. I'm just speculating, saying that might have been the issue.
Well, you have all the rigging that's in there. We talked about the lines that go to the top. You've got the other lines for turning vents, all those kinds of things. So you have all those things happening, and sometimes they get twisted up in the bag.
Yep.
And you have to stop the inflation and go in and untwist them.
Right, start over, and it makes sense that might have been what was happening. So again, just speculation on our part, or my part.
Based on some knowledge.
Based on, yes.
What happens.
Some intuition.
Yep.
As we would say.
Well, we're getting mooned by Pegasus as he flew over. Now there we go. Here's one of the remote control balloons starting to set up right here on our screen. So you can see how small the size of those baskets might be. That particular one does have a stuffed animal inside of it, and you can see the difference in size here. They'll be setting up and hopefully be able to inflate their balloons. They cannot take as much wind as the full-size balloons. So we'll see what happens, but we do think that this breeze that we're getting right here on the surface and in our face right now will go away shortly. And we'll be talking about those little RC guys as we see them get set up. The Red Devil in the sky. Going to come right over the top of us. There's a great shot of Red Devil. Red Devil being flown by Gary Brosette from Columbus, Georgia. So we're about through the first wave. We're starting to get our second wave balloons set up here on the south end of the field. And we have another special guest here on the set, Mayor Tim Keller, the mayor of Albuquerque. Mayor, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It is great to be here with you. And what a beautiful, brisk morning it is. Good to see the box working.
It is.
It's a little high, I know. It's got to be, for those folks who are up there, they're going to be up there a while.
Well, and it's a little slow up there, too. But it's the good news is we were talking with Balloonmeister Henry Rosenbaum a few minutes ago. That's going to be even better as we get to competition as we move through the week here. So it's a good sign to see that up here. What does it mean for Albuquerque to have the Balloon Fiesta back?
You know, it is something that is lifting up our entire city and our entire state. We've obviously been through really tough times, COVID, etc. And all of us, I think, are just seeing sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. And part of that was, you know, whether it was State Fair or now with Balloon Fiesta, we're sort of understanding all the things that make our city special that we can do again. And it's also almost surreal. You know, it's hard to believe that last year this didn't happen. At least we saw a few balloons in the sky, but now it just feels like, you know, things are getting back to normal, albeit slowly, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, we did actually get an opportunity to do our Balloon Fiesta live show last year on Community Access Channel 27, the city's Comcast channel.
That's right.
So we were there. We're streaming there again this year as well. So we've got that going for us. So it is great to be back here. We're all excited. I think the whole city is. It just feels like everybody's excited to have this back.
Well, and you know, Balloon Fiesta Live, you guys do a great job, and I'm always impressed at the knowledge that you have, you know, at your fingertips of every single balloon. And you know, I've been going here my whole life. And I think you know more about ballooning in an hour than I have in a lifetime. But I used to chase crew.
I was going to ask you if you've been out chasing lately.
You know, I have to tell you, the one thing I have not done once since I became mayor was chase crew.
Oh, no.
Some things just had to get cut out. I did get to go up with our balloon, the Sunflyer, a couple of times, which is really fun on ABQ Aloft.
Uh-huh.
And now, of course, the crew just ribs me, you know, because I'm the guy who just left them, and, you know. But chase crewing is something special. And even as a kid, I remember riding my bicycle, you know, biking after balloons as they'd land, and then trying to help them fold it up. And, you know, maybe if you were lucky, they'd give you a card or a pin. And, I mean, those were some of the best mornings, weekend mornings that I can remember growing up in Albuquerque. Such a special thing in our city.
As Albuquerque continues to grow, landing sites get shorter, smaller, less available. What is the city doing to kind of alleviate or at least work on that issue so that we can continue to have Balloon Fiesta and have safe places to land?
Well, we're doing a couple of things. One is we set up a fund to actually purchase landing areas. And we put some money into the fund. And we've done a couple of things. Number one is we did purchase a piece of land northeast of the park, and it's for emergency landing and also for backup parking. It's a nice spot. You can almost see it sort of to the northeast of the cars that are out there. So that was one piece that we bought. And then we bought another piece. A lot of people call it the pool property, but it's out on the west side, and it's connected to our open space.
Yes.
So we're able to expand our open space, but also have more balloon landing out there. And that one's really important, actually, more so not even during Fiesta, because in the winter and the Lovers Rally and things,
Friends
there's
and
much
lovers.
more west side flying. So that was an important spot on the west side. But we're going to keep purchasing land when it's available. We really tried to get a key spot right where that red and black balloon is to the west of the field. Right there, the old Murphy's Mule Barn
place, yes.
Man, we wanted that, and I can't remember actually how that played out and who got it. We tried. I just know we weren't able to get it because, you know, sometimes the sellers try and raise the price on us. And so we got to purchase.
It's city government. They've got deep pockets.
Well, except the law that says we have to do it at appraised value.
I understand.
And it's a good law for that reason. So
yeah.
we weren't able to get that property. But anyway, we'll keep doing it. We've got a nice fund to do it. And the last thing I would say is that in general, we're doing things at our parks like Del Norte Vista, which is just south of the field. A lot of people are aware of that park. It's kind of mini Balloon Fiesta out there. We grassed the rest of that, so it's a 5-acre park. And we're planting the trees and such, so in the landscaping, so it's balloon friendly. So we're going to try and do that with a lot of our other parks too.
I was going to say, that's kind of the effort with everyone who puts new property or redevelops property, to put light poles and trees in positions that still leave an open space for a balloon to land.
You got it, and I hope these other new housing developments, are going to do that too. It's amazing. Now I come out here and it's like, there's houses right behind the RVs.
Right where we used to have chase crew parking. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot there. And we used to have a lot of landing in there too, and now there's houses and businesses building up in there. So
and I wish
it's good for the city, but it makes it a little tougher for ballooning.
Yeah, and the free market is what it is. I think a bunch of people tried to get that property.
Yeah.
But I think the developers realized it was worth a lot more, and it's if they want to do what they want to do and it's their land, it's hard to really stop them. So hopefully, though, I'm sure they'll be very balloon friendly, because we're going to be in their backyard pretty much all October.
Mayor Tim Keller, Mayor of Albuquerque, thanks for stopping by and joining us here on Balloon Fiesta Live. Always good to talk to you.
Great to be here. Keep up the great work, and love our partnership with Public TV too. So thank you so much.
You betcha. Yeah, good to say. We'll say hi again to everybody over there on Channel 27. Thanks, Mayor. So back to our Mass Ascension taking place here at Balloon Fiesta Live. And at Balloon Fiesta, this is the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Balloon Fiesta Live brought to you, powered by ExxonMobil. So we are starting through the second wave, not quite as big as the first wave, because everybody jumps into the first wave to be able to get out and get up and fly. And the box, as we've talked about, continues to work. And we have balloons just scattering the entire sky. It is just a fabulous day. One of those that we just have balloons everywhere. And there is another one of those little globitos, one of the remote control balloons we see on the screen. We've even made little basket banners for them. You see one right there that says Balloon Fiesta on it. All of our regular size balloons have a basket banner on them with a big number, so that we can easily identify who that might be. And we've made these littler ones on the globitos. And again, we're scheduled to have them set up, but it is just a little breezy for those little guys. They don't take as much wind as our big guys can take. In fact, actually, there you see one of the flags. You see the ExxonMobil. You can see it's kind of flapping a little bit. And actually, I'm looking at the Zia balloon with the TLC banner on the side. He's kind of doing a little rock and roll right here in the front. There you see one of the little mini fans, because they have to inflate them the same way we inflate our regular size balloons. That looks like Matt McKay, actually one of the guys that's helping us organize this Fiesta de los Globitos. Glen's back. Little tiny fan, little basket, little balloon. Actually, I've worked on a couple of, and I've actually got an opportunity to fly a couple of remote control balloons. And we actually inflate it with a little weed blower, leaf blower.
I'm still not back.
There you
now
are.
I'm back. Hey, so how was your visit with the mayor?
It was great.
Good.
It was great. He still did not grant you honorary citizenship, though.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Update. We had a little chat backstage.
Yes.
And I was expressing to him that, I get to visit Albuquerque 2 weeks a year for 32 years now. I thought I should be an honorary citizen.
Yeah.
And he agreed, and I can tell you that I am now honorary mayor.
Oh,
so
man.
You may now address me as Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Honor. Mr. Honorary.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, that is news. He didn't tell me. He didn't share that with me.
No, well, as I say, we had a little private chat backstage. Had a private audience with the mayor.
Whoa, boy. Do I have to move farther away?
No, but you can address me as Mr. Mayor from now, or Mr. Honorary Mayor from now on.
A new line for the bingo card.
Oh, yes. Speaking of bingo cards, there's Tall Steve. But no, seriously, we were chatting backstage, and I told him, I said, every mayor who's come up here over the years, the 32 years I've been here, and the governors, I've always said, look, I come out here for 2 weeks a year. I'm a part-time resident. I should have some kind of special status. And he said, well, let me take care of that. And he made me gave me my own little badge that says Honorary Mayor.
Crazy.
So, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I see another bingo card word out there. I'm waiting for you to pick that one up.
Oh, well,
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're talking about Duma.
There you go.
Yes.
Bingo! I got it! I win.
Oh, yep, there is Duma. Duma is the cheetah balloon that you see flying here, along with the penguins. There is Tall Steve, Puddles, and, or is it Splash 2 or Puddles 2? Splash and Puddles 2.
Puddles 2 and Splash.
Yeah, because the original Puddles was destroyed, but there is the new Puddles 2. But Duma is the cheetah balloon, high overhead, and Duma, by the way, is the Swahili word for cheetah. It's also the registration, G Duma, for the balloon. Part of the fleet of balloons from Andrew Holly and Sky Safari at Longleat. Andrew, because of travel restrictions, is not with us this year, but his balloons, some of them, are still here flying. And to understand the bingo reference, you would have to be an insider, but all of my British friends, at Andrew's urging, Andrew created a Glen Moyer Balloon Fiesta Live bingo card with all of the many things that I am sometimes known to bring up while we're announcing. Now, don't go there. Like
Mr. Honorary Mayor.
Like my cats and Tartan and Scotland. And
you're going to get them all right now.
Well, they
Good thing I got a blackout already.
Yeah, see, they said, well, we should have a contest to see how many of those things you can bring up in 1 minute's time. So Longleat, Sky Safari, Duma. Yeah, and there's the Longleat banner on the back of Duma and the Sky Safari tag. Sky Safari, the largest annual ballooning event over in England, and so there I've got several.
But I got blackout as soon as you said Duma.
Yeah, you got bingo as soon as I said Duma. So, yeah, there's a little private game going on with our British viewing audience playing bingo this morning. So, yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah,
too much fun. Too many great ballooning friends around the world. So, hello to all of my UK friends that are hopefully watching us this morning. I know one that I didn't mention that I will, since we're talking about Andrew, is a shout out to my lovely British niece, and that is the lovely Miss Roma Holly. Good morning, Roma. Hope you're seeing Dada's balloons flying this morning.
And we keep checking in on the remote control balloons on our video feed as we see. So that one does actually has a passenger in there. Mickey is inside that basket.
Donna Allwood, watching from Bristol in the UK, as a matter of fact. And good morning, Donna. I can't wait to be back at Sky Safari in 2022. Looking forward to it.
So Tall Steve isn't making it to us, but which one's which again? Right over. Better get this picture.
Oh, fly penguin. Oh, dadgum, I don't even have my camera out. Look at this.
Well, let me get that for you, Mr. Mayor.
But you got to remember to stay at 75 feet, too.
Yeah, good morning. PNC Bank's coming right over the top of us.
That would be Puddles 2 going overhead. So even though Tall Steve did buzz the rooftop,
somebody got the message.
Puddles got us.
Mr. Z's coming back overhead, has managed to do the box, and I think 76 is boxing back as well. We're starting to see these coming over the top of the field.
Several of them coming back over the top of us.
They've dropped down, coming back over the field. So we're getting a second pass at them. I always love these mornings. I mean, I know the box is high, but I just love that because it's just all the colors, all the little dots of colors in the sky.
Yeah. A little bit of a westerly push to it now that wasn't there.
Yeah,
kind of rolling out toward Corrales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the current owners of this balloon. You see the balloon that's the blue and red spiral with the gold and black on it?
Yes.
I don't know who the current owner is. But
Tom Caius.
Tom Caius? Okay, well, the balloon was originally built for my good friends Ken and Marianne Lair out of California. Ken is the only student that I ever taught to fly. And teaching him to fly was enough to tell me I didn't ever want to be an instructor again. Only kidding, Ken. No, Ken was a great student. But I just found that I didn't enjoy teaching because we would be in the balloon together giving him a lesson, and he would be flying the balloon. It was such a gorgeous day. I think, I really wish I was flying my balloon instead of riding as an instructor passenger with Ken.
That balloon is housed here now in Albuquerque.
It is, yes, it is.
Tom is an emergency room physician.
Outstanding. Well, I know the balloon intimately because we built it at Thunder & Colt when I was working at Thunder & Colt Balloons in the early 90s over in Longview, Texas. And Ken and Marianne were and continue to be great friends out in California. Sometimes they visit. They come to Fiesta. I'm not sure if they're here this year or not. I haven't heard from them, if they are.
I wanted to mention another new balloon sponsor we had, Bubba's, local restaurant.
Yeah.
And it went off on one of the regular shaped balloons when we were talking about Tall Steve and Puddles and Splash, and they were still over on the east side of the field.
Yeah.
Ron Sanchez took his Bubba's balloon off, and really glad to have them join our balloon sponsorship.
That's awesome. I've always liked the word Bubba because I had always wanted my dad's name was Arthur. And I have always wished that...
No wonder you pick on me.
Yes. Well, no, I had always wished that my mom and dad had named me Arthur. I just think it's a great name.
It is.
It is a great name. And at some point, once I was old enough to understand, I asked them why they didn't. And having been born and raised in Texas, Dad said, he said, I really didn't want a son to be known as Bubba. Because in Texas, that's a very popular name. Or nickname, I guess. And he said, I didn't want a son to be called Junior or Bubba. And so they didn't name me Arthur, but I've always wished that they had. And thinking of my dad this morning, since today is Remembrance Day. It's been a number, 10 or 11 years now that he's been gone. But Dad, I love you and still wish you had named me Arthur. We do share the same middle name, however. And his middle name, Arthur, or his name, Arthur, was from his father's middle name. My grandfather was William Arthur, and Dad was Arthur Leslie, and I'm Glen Leslie. So passing some of the name heritage along.
Very good.
For what that's worth, just a little family side note there. Speaking of family, there is the Hartzell family inflating their balloons. Easy to see because it's 3 that look virtually identical. Texas Racer balloons they are, royal blue with a band of stars around the center, and then those black and white checkered racing stripes top and bottom. And that is Joe, Rhett, and Lucas Hartzell.
You remembered.
I remembered, yes.
Now they're starting to do patterns there. You notice that? The middle one stands up while the other two are still down.
Well, the other 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Joe and Rhett very well. I do not, sadly, know Lucas that well. We've just... never been able to spend that much time together. But I've known Joe and Nancy for a long time, and now Rhett, a 2-time national champion. Joe, of course, a 5-time national champion. And Joe will tell you that Lucas can outfly both of them. So, a great ballooning family and just great people.
Well, we'll find out starting tomorrow.
We will.
Which one of the Hartzells, or how many of the Hartzells,
would
be a better way to say that.
Next
rise
Saturday,
to the top of the
next
list.
Saturday when we hand out all the prizes, we'll see who is the best, or who was the best at least this week at flying.
And that's actually kind of what it comes down to. Who has a little bit of luck? I mean, they've got the skill, obviously. So who does well in the luck column this week?
Yep. Who gets that break?
Yep. We used to say when I would get to the target, it was 10% luck and 90% pilot error.
Yeah, well, I was kind of the same. I'll always remember flying an event, David Eastland's event up in the Nashville, Tennessee area. And my good friend Dr. Bill Bussey was flying in the event. And we all had radios on common channels a lot of times so you could talk from pilot to pilot. And I was coming into a target when I heard Bill Bussey say, You know who's going to win this dang race is Glen Moyer if he doesn't scare himself because he's so close to the target, which would tell you I didn't get close to the target very often. And as a matter of fact, I didn't win the race, but I did beat Bill Bussey that weekend.
Well, that's good.
And, yeah, my favorite memory is David Eastland's wife, Jan, is just a gorgeous lady. Both inside and out. And at the award ceremony, I said, I don't know which. She was handing out the awards, and she would give each pilot, each winner a little peck on the cheek. And I said, I don't know which I'm more excited by, the fact that I beat Bill Bussey or that I get kissed by Jana Eastland.
There's the New Mexico True Balloon. Bill Lee, the pilot. Our New Mexico Tourism Department, their slogan, adventure that feeds the soul.
The RNS Power Sports balloon is also standing up over here on the east side of the field. The rainbow spiral balloon broken by the black and white. That is Steve Lombardi. Steve and his lovely wife, Lalani, longtime balloonist. Steve's a retired firefighter from down in Missouri City, Texas, in the Houston area, and then they now make their home on in an air park, a little airport community up in the area in northeast Texas around Canton, Texas.
I see the balloons next to it, the Plano City balloon.
Yeah, that's Billy.
Yep.
Billy Broker.
He was almost inflated there.
He was.
And now he is bringing down the balloon as the yellow one next to them.
Well, that's the RPS balloon next to him, the yellow one. I've been
Yep.
watching it with the banner, and it's deflated and coming down now too. The Creamland, have you mentioned Creamland's got the Moo Crew balloon out?
No, we talked about the cow before.
Yeah, Arabelle is out, but the little round balloon, the Moo Crew balloon, is out, and there go the Hartzels, the flying Hartzels. We should come up with some fancy name for them. They're like a trapeze act or a circus act, the flying Hartzels.
So little rock and roll as they kind of go airborne in their Texas racers. Typically comes from the tie-off line.
Yeah.
You have the tie-off line on. You get enough heat in there that you're actually stretching that line. You're out at the end of that line, and when you let it go, because the balloon's already trying to move, and it's holding the basket back, it lets go, and then the basket starts swinging underneath.
Right. Yeah, it's that hypothesis that for every action there is a reaction.
There you go.
So the action of popping that quick release and releasing the tension that the tie-off rope has on the balloon is then rebounded. That tension is rebounded into the balloon itself, and so the three.
Okay,
there's
one of them right there. Who is that?
I don't know. It's Joe, Luke, or it's Joe, Red, or Lucas. One of them. I've begged them for years. I've begged Joe to put, because when they fly in competition together and I'm announcing, I don't know who's who, and do something. Put a flag on the crown line, or do something. Put a different colored skirt on one of them or two of them. But they're all identical. The older one, the only thing that's different is it does not have the silver lining around the stars, the silver gilded edge to the stars. But otherwise, they're all identical. And Joe,
but that silver blends right in with the white.
It does,
and
yeah. Unless the sunlight
close,
hits it, you really don't see it.
You still don't, yes.
And Joe has resisted my pleading for years to do something to differentiate the three. But I can recall years ago, another good friend who I know he and his wife are here, Pat Cannon, and Pat flew at that time.
Pat was supposed to come up and see us.
Well, he may still, I guess.
He waved at us yesterday.
He waved at us yesterday,
but
yeah.
he didn't come see us.
But he flew back in the day when he had a stock pattern Cameron balloon, and I was announcing a little event down in San Angelo, Texas, and at that time 2 or 3 people owned it. Was a very popular pattern, and Pat was the only one that I knew that had it, and so Pat probably crossed the target about 4 or 5 times that morning, because every time I saw the balloon, and here comes Pat Cannon,
Because you're reckoning.
Yeah, so I do the same thing, when I'm doing an event with the Hartzels, and there's Joe Hartzell, and here comes Joe Hartzell again, and oh look, there goes Joe Hartzell a third time. At least I know usually Lucas doesn't.
One of the times it'll be him.
Well, yeah, and Lucas doesn't compete that much. His work schedule doesn't allow him to travel as much as Joe and Rhett do. So usually it's just the 2 of them that I have to try and figure out. But
so there is the Moo balloon.
Yeah, the Moo Crew.
Moo Crew balloon at Creamland. Right behind it, Dave Eichhorn in Marauder's Mark and flying the Visit Albuquerque banner. They were the
That's
balloon
the yellow balloon with
that's
the
yellow.
oranges in it?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Dave is the guy I talked about who was in the gas flight with me back a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So.
Now there goes a balloon tailing a long streamer. That's not the white memorial streamer, I don't think. It's not white.
No.
So not quite sure what that might be about.
He didn't get in the right line for markers and lines.
Yeah, maybe.
Brought his own.
I used to like to do that when I had my first balloon, Yellow Rose.
Look at.
There's another bingo thing for you. First balloon.
Look at. Look at how slow all of a sudden those two are.
Yeah.
Sunflower, the blue one with the white Zia, and the black one with the little purple and teal verticals. The one you're talking about having
the long streamer.
The longer stream
but
paper.
In fact, I did it one year here at Albuquerque. I had Yellow Rose here, and I would get crepe paper streamers, those little round balls of crepe paper you can buy.
Yes.
And I'd get them in the colors of the balloon, which was yellow, red, purple, pink, and orange, and I would tie them to the uprights of the basket so that when I launched, when you lifted off, they sort of unfurled below you.
Yes.
And then you flew away with these beautiful colored streamers flying behind you. It used to be a fun, and at some point during the flight, though, you had to pull all that stuff up and pile it into the basket because you didn't want to litter.
One of the competitions that used to happen kind of infrequently would be to be able to take one of those rolls of crepe paper and connect it between two balloons.
Oh, yeah.
And see which team of balloons could fly the
longest without breaking the strain,
without
breaking the streamer. Yeah. I haven't seen that done in quite a while, but yeah, that used to be.
So that should be Frank Bacon going right overhead. And the blue balloon with the yellow. That's the one the mayor crews on, although he admitted to being kind of a flaky crew member lately. Ever since he's been mayor, he hasn't been out crewing.
Well, better that he's a flaky crew member than a flaky mayor.
That's true.
That's
true.
Yeah, and talk about
that racer. Look how high he went really quick. He was just right here.
Talking about some of the fun competitions, though, if you think back through the history of Balloon Fiesta, now we run competitions in a fairly standard manner using standardized markers that the pilots drop on the targets. But over the years, we've thrown some pretty crazy things out of balloons. I mean, back in the day when Kodak was a sponsor, we threw Kodak film boxes. We've thrown beach balls. Remember
the ping pong balls.
The ping pong balls. Now, I was not here during the tumbleweed drops, but I've heard all the great stories.
Oh, yeah, the
about
tumbleweed drops.
People would get a tumbleweed and take it in and soak it in water and then let it freeze overnight so that it would weigh more, it would be heavy. And I remember one of the years with the beach balls, I was on the field crewing, and Terry Cooper from Texas came flying in along the fence line here on the western edge of the field, and he threw the beach ball out in front of him, out in front of the basket, and the wind was so strong that the ball literally flew along almost parallel to the basket right with him because the beach ball was somewhat light. Yeah, and then, of course, we had the instead of the key grab, we had the chimney drop, where you had to drop a marker down the chimney to win a house. In the old days, you would not only were we launching off of dirt, but you would usually have to go around and pick up the bigger rocks that were in your launch site and pile them off to the edge
off to the side
of the launch site so that you could lay your balloon out nice and flat.
So let's see if we can take a quick update on the America's Challenge gas balloon race. We've heard all throughout the morning
that they're going nowhere fast.
Less than 10 miles an hour.
Or are they quickly going nowhere? Maybe that's it.
Something like that. I don't know if we can bring the tracker map up on the screen. We can see it here. But again, they launched out last night. We had a gorgeous night last night, gorgeous flights. We actually saw one video of Brenda Kalashoff, who was putting up the pictures and video from.
Yeah,
we kept saying
we were
they've
talking
got the
about
best seats
what a
in the
view
house.
they must have, and Brenda Kalashoff came up and posted a video on her Facebook feed saying this is the best seat in the house, and then she looked down and showed us.
And showed it to us.
What they were seeing from up at altitude. It was amazing.
I'm going to get a chance to hopefully capture that. We'll share it in future broadcasts.
Good.
The last we looked at the tracker, you're right, they hadn't gone very far. Bert Padelt and Noah Forden had actually managed to get a little over 100 miles away.
Right.
Which isn't very far for as long as they've been flying. The rest of them were still about 40 miles away. And so there is the map now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Kind of hard to see on our monitor up here, but yeah.
Oh, there's Bert all the way down there. Yeah, so you can see he's got a bunch. He and Noah gone off to the southeast. Then we go back to the Aqua one. That's going to be Mark Sullivan and Sherry White. They're taking that track. And then if you look up the other two balloons, that would be that's Brian and Brenda, the ones we were just talking about.
Yep.
And then up there is where Barbara and Peter are. Now, that Barbara and Peter managed to get a hook to go more north. So that's kind of interesting. And as I look at that, they're still moving under 10 miles an hour. So a very slow race, but again, it is a distance race. And they will probably fly for as many as 3 days. So where is that balloon coming? Oh, way down on the other end. So they are starting to let at least we have someone made it back to the field this morning. Well, In the Buff has taken off. So the game plan for the rest of the week here, just on our shows. And by the way, we are on Facebook. We are on balloonfiesta.com. We are on YouTube. We are over the air around the park on a low-power TV station, channel 28. We are also being picked up by KNMQ, a TV station in the Albuquerque area, which gets you as far as Santa Fe, Laguna Pueblo, down to Belen. That is on channel 20.2 over the air.
Right.
And let's see, we're also on Community Access Channel 27. That is for Comcast customers. They provide a community access channel. So 20.2, 27, 28, YouTube, Facebook, balloonfiesta.com, and who knows where else, because somebody else is always picking us up somewhere else. And, of course, we appreciate you joining us and tuning in with us and providing all your comments in the chat room. We try and get back with you and talk with you as much as we can.
I'm just scrolling
Some days
through
we
some
do
of those
better at
now.
that than others.
Yeah.
Anything exciting there?
Well, no, just interesting note. Nick Mazzina says, Glenn, if you need help with RC, give me a message. And thank you, Nick. I certainly may get in touch with you. A couple of friends saying hello to Terry Dillard and Flip Flop. Mariana Teresa, who's watching, says, thanks for the live feed. You guys are awesome. And thank you. Travis Mathis says, is Buzz the Tower on the bingo card? I don't think so. I think Tall Steve
Depends
was
on
the
your card. It depends on your card.
Yeah, I'll have to check. But
there are so many terms, we could probably produce 100 cards.
Well, now, let's not go overboard. You know.
Okay, 95.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
up tonight.
Yeah,
Up tonight. Here on the field at 5 o'clock, Fast Tracks will bring the flag in. We will record it for you, and we will bring it to you on a tape delay basis.
5,000 square feet of flying freedom.
There you go. We will see them jump at 5. We will bring it to you at 6, followed shortly after that by tonight's Balloon Glow, what I'm calling the original Balloon Glow, because it did start originally on the first Sunday night of Balloon Fiesta. Of course, after the Balloon Glow, we're expecting a great night for the Balloon Glow. You're going to want to be able to come out for that. After the Balloon Glow, Fast Tracks, you got me doing it now. Fast Tracks will be back with their Pyro Jump, where they do a pyrotechnic display in the sky while skydiving down to the ground.
Which is a fancy way of saying they shoot off fireworks while they're up in the sky.
There you go.
Yeah.
And light themselves up.
And they do. Yeah, they have their own little neon Santa suits.
And then we have our Afterglow fireworks. And hopefully those should take place on time tonight as opposed to the delay we had last night.
Yes.
But we won't go on there. That's all tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back 6 a.m. Again, all these times are Mountain Daylight Time. You get to do the time conversion. And we'll be on the air live at 6 o'clock. We have just a regular Dawn Patrol tomorrow, not the show. And we have our competition, where half the balloons will take off from here, not participating in competition, and fly away. The other half will go somewhere else and attempt to fly back into the field. Monday is usually the Sid Cutter Memorial we talk about, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow morning as well. Same thing on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're back to Mass Ascensions. Thursday and Friday, special shape flights in the morning, Glowdios in the evening, and then Saturday and Sunday, we're back to Mass Ascensions and a Night Magic Glow on Saturday night. Somewhere in between here, the gas balloons will land, and we'll wrap all that up as well.
Absolutely. And we wrap it all up with that Mass Ascension on Sunday when we say farewell.
Which is what we're going to say right now, too, because it's time
for
to
us
get
to
off
go.
the air.
Absolutely. So thank you all for being here this morning, day 2 of the 49th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I'm Glen Moyer.
I'm Art Lloyd Jr. We'll see you tonight.
Good night.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Always in October and always in Albuquerque. The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. Make plans now to join us in person in 2022 for the Big 5-0, the 50th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.